Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Evelyn. I'm here to introduce you to a new level of entertainment. The stars have aligned, connecting Brooklyn, New York, Sacramento, California, and Atlanta, Georgia. The team. Introducing Flatbush, Brooklyn's finest, the boss, Chef Chupino. Hailing from Sacramento, California, is Andrea Lynch. From the dirty South Atlanta, Georgia, is your boy, Victor Freeze Music, or just Vic.
Club phone jump, it's the weekend. Julian come true with the freak friends. Hitting on doors, that's a defense. Rolling with all, that's that offense. Hit me, chain, Jude, let me peachin'. With our bull shaking to my maybe drop bands. So they don't buy, and I say, so they don't buy, you the kid play, baby, tell me what you want. Julian, I know you need fun. Ever since remember we been knocking at the door. Y'all been moving paper, we be running up the school. Y'all before that pill that we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't hard. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care.
Profit, baby. Come roll with me.
All night long.
As times relax, my mind's relaxed. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, sure enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I put it up. Whoever let you go must be dumb as fuck. Wait for. Girl, you so fine, I pay for. Fly you first class to LA for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Because I don't care what you say.
I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long.
My nigga done killed it. Night long. This the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focus, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it.
I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care.
That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga. Prophet the One. Follow me on all Instagram sites, PROPHETTHEONE. That's Prophet the One in case you couldn't spell. But if you could, you already.
What up? What's going on, YouTube? Let me get a quick mic check. Throw one in the chat. If we sound crispy, if I sound crispy, what's going on, folks? Let me get that one in the chat. Talk to me. I need to know. Talk to me. Uh-oh. There we go. One in the chat. We're official. What's going on? Thank you guys for joining. Damn, I didn't oil the beard before the show. Pardon me. All right. What's going on, folks? It's your boy Chef in the house, and we are here for a wonderful night of great fellowshipping and discussion. It's going to be a fun night. We have some beautiful people that are going to be coming up to the stage very shortly, and of course, we're going to be welcoming some guests up here as well. So stay tuned. Don't be shy. All right? Because we have a great night ahead for you. And for the record, if you didn't know what we're here for, we're here for this. Look at that. Both of them. They got the eye of the tiger. Who wants the throne? Who wants the crown? Can two wear the crown? Can two rule the kingdom? Who leads? Who follows? Look at the intensity. Now, we don't condone domestic violence here. You understand what I'm saying? But understand the intensity. You see my face when I'm doing the intensity. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you a little background music. Since we're going to be talking about submission, I figured what the hell. We play a little homies music in the background. Get some folks pissed off. Rest in peace. KS. All right. Get it started tonight. Uh-oh. We already got Andrea. She hitting that bop already.
I'm ready.
You know when the ladies go like this? They mouth. You know how they do like this. Why did the stanky face, synonymous with music could be like? Is it funny? The same face we made when we like a song is pretty much the same face we make when we smell shit. Just an observation, Just an observation.
Basic. Got that same energy. Where your people at?
Uh-oh. You on that? Okay. I see you on that time tonight. All right. So, listen. Got somebody else who's not just part of the team, was also part of Team Testosterone. So I'm not in this piece alone. Know what I mean?
See, I got my girl Vados.
What's good?
What it do, son? What's poppin'?
Hey, Vic.
Like,
What's up, Trey?
You got Vic on the shoulder. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Got the white shoes. So, we're going to have a nice night tonight. We definitely are. I appreciate everybody popping through. Let's show some love. Aha. Of course. Harrison. Oh, you know what? Let me do this first.
I see, where the link at, because my folks is asking. Come on now. They coming tonight.
I got you.
She wants to hook up. Holler if you hear me.
Got you, fam. Come on, we doing that right now. Right. And tonight we're gonna see some clips. We're gonna discuss some clips. She couldn't be on tonight. You know what I'm saying? But my lady recorded something. She recorded something for me to play on the topic. So, we're gonna hear her words too. I wasn't just gonna make it about, make sure you get a little bit of anecdotals in there, right?
Okay.
So the link is in, folks. I'm gonna go to the page and pin that baby. Oh, damn, we already got a bite.
Oh, yes, man.
Oh, I heard that. You know somebody using StreamYard. He hit doop. That means they got the doop. Uh-oh.
My folks is coming You know I was gonna come empty-handed.
There she go. They done brought the feds in town.
Listen,
That's right.
First of all, we were supposed to be doing slap boxing, and you brought a freaking nuke. You brought a nuke.
Hey, everybody.
Yo, why you close your fence?
You gonna start off with guns, huh? All right.
You bring my friends. You bringing your friends. I said it's all dead, okay?
Hey, she said yesterday, she says, Chef, that's okay, Chef. It's okay. We don't do it. You can bring your friends, and I'm gonna bring my friends. And then I said,
shit,
and we can all be friends. We can
do it every weekend. Ain't
Oh snap! We got fam in the house. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this going. Right? Harrison, we got Harrison. Of course, we got Andrea, Vic, Danique. What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome through. Yes, everyone, please hit like, subscribe, share that baby out. Don Frank, A1 Day 1. What it do? Thanks for coming through and always sharing. Edith Baker, new face, great smile. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Grab your seat in the garden. You home now. All right.
Hey, Edith.
Red lipstick. What up, Ty? I see you. I knew you were gonna miss this one, huh? Yeah. Mika Marcel, A1 Day 1. Already know. And then the other third of the A1 Day 1 clan, the ones that never missed the stream ever. Quantum Love Metaphysician. Peace to the gods and the earths. Oh, new face to the channel, but not to Andrea's heart, apparently. Indigo Key Oracle. What's going on? Love the name. Love the name. Welcome. And make sure you come back. The key is under the rock next to the left bush. Who else we got here? Who else did I miss? Yeah, of course, we have the wonderful, wonderful Raw B Privilege on deck, sharing that time with us. Aha, Mimsy, you did your thing. I love the change. She used to be called Mimsy Limbs, now she's Mimsy Makes the Home. She's doing hacks. She's showing bread, freaking and that banana bread recipe. She knows her stuff. She sews. Man, she's our personal DIY. So I appreciate you stopping through. Check her out. Oh, my guy. AKA, if he was a member of Wu-Tang, they would have called him Big Swole Arms. My guy, Derek C. Williams, thank you for coming through. And you already know where that link is. So when you're ready, if your arms ain't numb from all that working out, hit the link. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. We smoked out the Crypto King, Crypto Kid.
Nizzle.
He used
Nizzle.
Nizzle used to be the Crypto Kid, but he's the Crypto King now. All right, my guy. So, yeah, man, here we are talking. Eventually, people are going to join through, but in the meantime, let's talk.
Yes.
It's a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go first to define?
You can have the floor. You the man over here. You can have the floor. You the old man on the block over here, so you can have the floor.
Oh yeah, okay.
Uncle Chef.
I'm getting good with OBS and all of that. You keep talking that old shit. The next 5 streams is gonna have like a monkey face over you, and it's gonna move when you talk.
That's not nice. Well,
Yeah. That's the point.
That's amazing.
You the elder over here now, so we're gonna let you go ahead and talk first. You showing respect to the elder, okay? That's what they say.
First off, I ain't get my AARP card yet.
I can't.
Extreme shade detected.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the bus just so I can get the discount.
You getting the early bird specials down to the IHOP?
What? The dinner at 2:15 in the afternoon.
Facts.
Yeah, man. So, submission.
Mhm.
What I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you guys the actual definition of submission.
Okay.
Now, I understand how people sometimes have a tendency to like to have their own meanings for specific terms, but I'm going to read it to you. Submission, noun, the act or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. All right. So I think that's a pretty decent definition that I could rock with. All right. So I concur with that one. Absolutely.
Read it one more time, Chef.
Hold on a second. I got you right here. The action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person. All right.
Okay.
That's what I see when I consider submission. Peace, Miss Polly. Thanks for popping through. We're gonna need yours, because we want to know about submitting to two men. So when it's time, when to jump up. So yeah. So Andrea, let's go clock.
Mhm.
What do you think about what does submission mean to you?
Well, submission can be different things to different people. Now, to me, it could be different. Maybe we could take turns washing the dishes. Maybe we could take turns, doing the housework. I don't think I have to listen to everything he say, just some things.
Not everything, just something.
Mm-hmm.
So you showed me what it looks like. So if someone said to you, what is submission? What would you say?
Well, I don't think the submission thing is what triggers me. Okay, let's be honest. It does. It makes me feel like I don't have a say so, but I have seen it work in different areas, and I don't think it's like you compromising in a sense. I feel like you're compromising. I'm gonna do this. You're gonna do this.
Compromise.
Yes.
Okay. It's interesting. You sound like compromise is a bad thing. I don't want to get too far off the side, but it seems like you think compromise is a bad thing.
No, I don't think compromise is a bad thing. It depends on who you submission. If you submission to a man, is he worthy for you to submission to? Is he a leader? Is he a provider? Is he all that? Will he be? And don't be submitting to a man that he ain't got all that. He don't have no his purpose. He don't know where he going, and now he trying to lead you too.
Okay.
Every man ain't a leader.
All right. So we're gonna come back to you. I said you ahead of time. You came out guns blazing.
What? What'd you say?
You came out guns blazing. I see you.
Who said I'm ready to rumble? I know.
Where's the metal detectors?
You said keep the same energy. I got the same energy from last night. What about you? You getting enough sleep?
So you're obedient and submissive.
Shut up.
Yo, Vic. Are you froze? Victor Freeze is frozen. Oh, snap. Victor Freeze was frozen. That's funny.
The frozen
Victor
one.
Frozen.
Mr. Freeze.
Hey,
Yo, what's good?
What it do? So
So
what
you
is
said, what's my definition of submit?
yeah? What does it mean to you? What does submission mean to you?
Well,
What
if
you
you break the
drinking?
word down, sub means under.
Mhm.
Kui
Mm.
So
kukuluk.
so it would be impossible to submit as partners. Um, because that would insinuate you're on the same level. And the I don't know what part of the word you would say that is, but the second portion of it, to mit, is from the Latin word mitter, which is basically to render, send, or put, place, whatever. It's act of willingly rendering or giving something. So you're lowering yourself to make an active choice to give something. So it's not uh, something that is to be taken. It's something to be freely given, like gratuity. So no one can take your submission. It has to be willingly given. So
Okay.
that's my definition.
All right. All right. I like that. Robbie, talk to us. What does submission mean to you?
Submission is complete and total care.
So now, when you say submission is complete and total care, it's care by the person that you're submitting to.
It's care by both.
So give me like break it down a little bit for me.
Okay, so it's kind of like when you're the gardener, right?
Mhm.
The plan is submitting to the way you love it, to the way you water it, to the way you understand if it requires shade or sunlight, to the way you understand, you know what I'm saying, what water is best for it, what soil is best for it, what environment it needs to grow. Now, the plant, under such tender, guiding, loving tenderness, grows and flourishes, and then it provides everything it is that you desire because the balance is effective. That is submission.
Mm, I like that. He's sharp. That was pretty sharp. You already know he's sharp. Everybody, make sure
Thank
you
you.
check out Robbie Privilege's page. She definitely puts it on. So the funny thing is, you kind of went to the next step. Excuse me. Was ways that we display submission. So when you said care, that was pretty dope because when you look at, say, somebody that works for a charity, somebody that's a missionary. Think about it, a missionary that travels abroad to help people in different countries and help feed the hungry, help clothe the homeless. They go to Africa, they go to India, Calcutta, do all of those things and give up their life. Care, the care that you take, if there's something you care for, someone you care for, or some sort of concept or mission that you care for, you will submit to it and do whatever it takes in order to make sure that thing, person, concept, movement, mission is cared for. All right. Somebody's an entrepreneur. You submit to, the hours. You submit to understanding that it's only you doing it, which means that you submit to all of the work. So I like the way you dropped that. So
Thank you.
yeah. So in another aspect of submission, and it kind of leans into the caring, is submitting to understanding people's understandings. And what do I mean by that? You know, building trust in people is a way, showing that you would submit to someone. For instance, I could give a perfect example. Your patience. That one example is your patience. You know there's somebody that's speaking to you. You may not be in the mood. You may be tired. But you understand they need you. And remember, you care about that item, thing, concept, person, mission. So what you'll do is you'll submit your time and your fatigue in order to listen to them, in order to talk to them. When you go and help your homie move, you're acquiescing to his needs and submitting to him. When you have a job, you literally apply, get dressed up, and interview just for the chance to submit to organizations and its methods and practices and whoever your supervisor is for pay. That's submission. That's a chosen submission. So what does it look like? Tell me what it looks like to you for submitting. I know you did kind of mention the obedience thing, but do you notice any other positive ways of submitting, Andrea?
I think you're muted, Andrea.
No.
You don't think there's any positive? Oh, snap.
Baby
All right.
said no.
No.
Okay, I'm going to take that one. You take that. Right? Vic, how about you?
So a positive way to submit?
Yeah, positive way to submit? Or if you want to describe a way that you submit as well. It's up to you.
You don't, when you submit, there's a degree of sacrifice. So it doesn't mean that you're actually giving up your position. It means that you're giving up your will or your cause for another's. So whether it's the religion that you may submit to, your God, or your family that you've created, in one instance you are the follower, and in another instance you are the leader. However, you're submitting in both cases, because if I just did what I want, I come in the house at 11 instead of 7. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm submitting because I understand the greater good, the greater cause, the will of the whole. You know what I mean? As opposed to my individual. And
Okay.
same in the other way.
I can see
All
that.
right. Can you see that, Andrea?
I can see that. Okay.
Okay, so in terms of hearing that, right, in terms of the three of us, what we said, can you see any ways that you may have submitted you yourself in a positive way?
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of my kids. I'm gonna sacrifice what I have to do to make sure they be okay. So definitely I'm gonna submit to what I have to do to make sure that they be okay. Yes, I can see that.
And what it is that to be okay. Remember, we talked about person, item, thing, concept, mission.
Mm-hmm.
That's your mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's two, actually. It's the person part, but it's persons and the mission of rearing them successfully.
Yes.
So do you feel it's bad what you're doing?
No, I want them to be good people of the United States. So no, it's not. I don't have a problem doing it for them.
Oh, good people in the United States, so they're gonna be shitty people in Mexico.
No, I'm just
I'm
saying.
I'm playing with you, yo. I'm playing with you. Yo, you really ready for war? You're not even, yo. She got to take a joke and brushing off because she want to fight. Oh, snap. So look at here. We got somebody up that wants to join. What's going on? Miss Polly,
Hi
right?
guys.
Oh shit! She done brought the electric
Hey.
Hi
blue.
everyone.
Look, she came. Look, she came through too. She ready to battle. She came through with her Yu-Gi-Oh here.
I know. I'm ready.
They don't know nothing
I'm
about
ready,
no
ready.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Chef.
saying on us. Hey, what's going on though? How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Chilling, man. Somebody said they wanted to brawl, so you know we had to do that. So, what do you think? What does submission mean to you?
I want to say the right words because sometimes it ain't right. But for me, I think that submission would be giving someone, like I said, giving someone the power over you. But it's something you given, something that you are given, and it really puts that person who receives that position in a place where hopefully they're responsible with that, but they are also, you're trusting them to do the right thing with whatever you've given them, that your trust or whatever you're basically submitting to what they're asking you blindly. It should be blindness, kind of according, to how I say it. There should be like some, even if let's say that person tells you to do something and you're like, I don't think so. If you're really submitting to them, you would have faith that they're doing the right thing in your interest. That's why I think submitting to anyone is a very, very big step. And so when people talk about submitting to a husband or submitting to a partner, to me, that's a real big step, because you're basically saying whatever they say, I trust that it's going to be in the best for my own self. And so you got to really have a lot of trust in them, and hopefully they're doing the right thing. So that submission is really, really kind of scary in a way, but also submitting to someone, you have to be in the right mind to do that, because you're supposed to be submitting to the whole thing, whatever they're, that they're going to be guiding you in the right direction. So it's really interesting to me. So yeah, that's why I like DOMs and subs. To me, are very interesting, because that's actually a very caring position.
Pleasure DOMs. Woo!
And people think that's it can be sexual. A lot of times subs and DOMs are not associated with sexual context. It's more a mental context.
What's funny is, yes, in fact, without going too far, off the beaten path.
Yeah.
In terms of DOMs and subs.
Oh yes, sure.
We have people that literally, people pleasers. There's folks that are people pleasers. And, there's certain folks where when it's time to make love, some folks want to get theirs off. And some folks want to make sure that their partner gets off a few times before they even jump in. Literally. Right? So it speaks to a certain nature. And it's fun. Damn, I'm glad you came up here. Now, for the record, Miss Polly Wright, she actually lives a polyamorous lifestyle. So she has two men that she has an active, successful relationship with. And those two men, they move like brothers. They move with a common mission. Miss Polly's been on our show already discussing the lifestyle. So in terms of the submission aspect, because just from the outside looking in and, seeing her interaction through her social media, seeing the videos she's doing when she's cooking for both of the guys, one guy likes the steak one way, one likes it the other, and she's actually, cooking food for the kids and the men, you know, her essence comes across as submissive. I would say she's submissive when I view how she moves. You know, I could be wrong, you know, but I do see a level of submissive from you, or a level of submission from you. You know, would that be accurate?
Oh yeah. Yes.
How does that work? How does
I would
that
say
like?
I'm submissive.
So, how do you acquiesce to the will or submit to the two? Like, how
I will
does
say mostly individually. Like mostly individually, because they don't really want and need the same things. So it just I have to move. I move around with what they're kind of going with. If it's something that could, connect us all together, they talk amongst themselves. If it's something like if I'm going to start dating or something like that, then they would kind of, if there's something they want to say, they would say it amongst each other, kind of agree or disagree, and then that would just be asked of me. So that kind of is how that kind of moves with that stuff. But individually, they need different things, and I just move amongst them based on those needs. So it to me it seems easy, but
Okay,
it's just because it's if someone asks something of me, you know. Mhm.
okay, so there's only one pot of oil left. One guy wants fried chicken, and the other guy wants fried shrimp. But you can't fry it all in the same oil because the guy that wants the fried chicken, he's allergic to shrimp.
Mhm.
So what do? And they both want what they want.
Oh,
How do you submit?
right. So I'm gonna be honest. I probably fry the chicken first, and I fry the shrimp second. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it! I should have said the
That's
shrimp
what
guy
I'm
was
probably
allergic.
do.
He's also.
I mean, no, it has actually one is allergic to shrimp. So this has happened. This has happened. This has happened before. So I was like, oh, I want to make this pasta with shrimp. And then the other one was like, well, I can't eat that. And I was like, oh, snap. Well, I guess I got to make this first and then I'll make that second or I'll put that on the side. It happens. It happens. I just move around it. And it works out pretty okay.
So here comes a question.
It's I think it's harder.
So here's a question. I'm gonna run it counterclockwise, and I'll let you start off. Is finance a requirement, or the amount of resources the person has? Is that a requirement for you to submit or be submissive or show submission?
No, that for me, no. For me, no, it's a no. But definitely initiative. If there's always got to be some drive. I would probably even talk to you or try to date you if you didn't have in your mind like, I'm trying to do something. I'm not saying you have to be richest person in the world, but definitely be trying to move forward or very consistent and stable. But that was a choice I made like a long time ago, probably like 17 years ago. With just seeing that stability and someone trying that's really what I need to be, submissive. The amount, if I made more money than you, I would still do the things I would want to do for you. I'd still do that.
All right. Thank you. Roll B, talk to me.
Oh no, for me it definitely is the finances. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. What we talking about here?
Real. That's what I'm saying too.
In the choir.
Let the church say amen. No, I'm just saying real quick, like it's real hard for men to play a role that deserves submission when they are not the breadwinner, because it chips away at their ego. When you can provide certain things for yourself that are necessities for who you are as a person, they want you to deny what is a necessity for you because they cannot provide it. That is the toxicness of submission that some people speak to. Like how I said earlier, I'm going to go back to the original premise of my argument. It's about the gardener. If the gardener cannot afford appropriate soil, if the gardener cannot afford water purification, if the gardener does not have enough land to plant his crop, the crop is always going to come back void.
I got to push back on you though. There's a
Okay.
difference. There's a difference between the gardener and the flower, and the husband and the wife.
Is there?
Yeah,
What's
the
the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference?
the gardener is God. The gardener created the flower. He planted the seed. The wife chose the husband.
No, actually, the gardener is not God. The
When I
gardener,
say God within that, I was using hyperbole. The gardener is the person that actually planted the seed
but it's
and
interesting.
cultivated the plant. The wife, before, she was not always a wife. She wasn't born a wife. She chose that man.
Interesting that you chose to view the gardener in my analogy as the husband. Because, see, a gardener actually chooses the plants that they want to nurture and help to grow. See, a gardener is a nurturer. That is actually the role of the wife. The husband is the plant. He has to be firmly planted in the soil to be grounded into the environment around him. See, a wife has to know when the husband needs shade, when the husband needs sun, when the husband needs water, when the husband needs food, and she has to know how to maintain that balance in order to get her husband, the plant, in order to make the plant fruitful, to multiply and be able to produce the sustenance to maintain the family. I'm gonna be quiet though.
Well, interesting though. Interesting that you saw the man as the plant and the woman as the gardener. But when you gave the initial analogy, or not the initial one, the secondary analogy that you gave, you stated about the gardener not having enough resources in order to tend to that garden. So,
Right.
so then, if the gardener you're speaking of is the woman, then how does that impact the whole submission dynamic? Because if you remember, you started saying that if the gardener does not have sufficient resources to cultivate the crops, cultivate the garden. So I referred to, because in terms of the natural traditional responsibility of,
Because
you know,
I knew that might slightly confuse you.
Gotcha.
Not really. The gardener has to have sustenance in order to be able to work the fields, in order to be able to work the crops. If the gardener does not have rest, if the gardener does not eat, the gardener does not have the ability to tend to the land. Now, when we're talking about a gardener and the plants that they tend to, the plants are the family, the husband, the children, the community, the pets, the property, the business, being a taxi, being a chef, doing all the roles. That's all the little plants that a wife has to feed, has to nurture, has to encourage to thrive. So the wife always needs the resources, and herein lies the rub. It's not a game of give and take where one side ultimately feeds everything and the other side gives nothing. It is a continuum, which is why everything in nature has a pair. The sun has the moon, the land has the water. You understand what I'm saying? Everything has a pair because God created this space to exist in harmony, as above, so below.
Okay. I see. All right, Andrea. I see you brought your big guns in here.
You trying to break my friends.
Look at you. I didn't realize you guys had that much
Break
beef.
my friends. I said, oh, okay, I'll break my friends.
All right. So before we let Vic give his piece, I want to just send some shout out to the chat because y'all definitely making some noise in here. Submission to me is yielding your power, authority, or will to another. Peace, Mickey Red. It was good to kick it with you. And last week, wild chick, yo. She is cool as hell, and she is amazing with the work she does. All right. We got Red Lipstick, Nick. Who else? So, my guy, Yella. Big Dog already coming in. He coming in guns blazing too. It's good troublemaker in the chat. Oh, snap. Hanifa Naila. Congratulations.
Hey.
Congratulations on your wedding, and conquering.
Oh, wow.
Taming. You finally tamed the conquering lion. Welcome. That crown you wore was beautiful as well, man. Thank you for coming through. And you already know. Look, I smoked you out. I had a feeling you would have popped in for this one. So the link is pinned to the top. You're always welcome to come through. Aaron Laura. All right, now we on deck. You in the spot. Salute. AR. What's going on? You don't even know. Don't say it, Andrea. You sparked an argument with me and with Andrea and I. All right, which led to a 2 hour. Was it 2 hours? No, it was a long conversation, but I said, you know what, yo, man, meet me on StreamYard. So y'all see, it was pre-recorded, but you inspired that one. You'll see. All right, who else? Okay, it looks like I got everyone. Perfect. Oh, B9 said that's bullish because the gardener protects the plant. So the plant can't be the man in that analogy.
So again, I'm going to now shift perspectives to the queen status because I think a lot of men get it twisted and they don't realize what their queen, their adornment, their crown is supposed to be. Crown is protection for your head. Adornment is protection for your body. In a game of chess, the queen has the ability to move anywhere around the board because she does what? She protects the king. So men that think that the gardener can't be the woman because she's not supposed to protect her king, well, all right. Agree to disagree.
I don't know.
Talking about all that metaphysical protection. When it's ass kicking time, okay? Don't nobody want to hear no poems.
I'm sorry, but I know how to shoot a gun. I also know how to, I got all type of weaponry and women protect their children.
I heard that noise. Can you put your rose away?
That's not a rose, baby. That's a taser. That's a taser. She got quite a few. Keep them on deck. I'll tase you. You understand what I'm saying? Some women.
Electric fly swat. The chef got one of them.
See, now y'all gonna make me have to turn on the video real quick just for the ones and the twos. No, that's what
funny story.
Make it manifest.
I had made a joke a while back. I was like, yo, well, these ladies keep on using these damn these roses, man. Eventually, it ain't gonna work no more. They're gonna need a taser.
I can't with you.
So when
that's what he said. Wow.
Fix it, Lord. Fix it. I cannot. God, you tried it. That's funny.
That's our line.
So Vic, what you got? Talk to me.
I don't remember what the question is.
Black people extra.
I mean, we can just argue with Raw from here on out. I don't know. What's the question?
So
why you want to argue? Why you want to argue with me? Because I got a different perspective. Because I look at the picture 360. I think that this conversation is good. It's needed. I don't think people really look at the situation from a total 360. I think they implant themselves in topics and they speak from their personal perspective. Like even what Miss Polly was saying about the Dom sub dynamic. The reality is the Dom sub relationship is one of the most perfect in creation. And once you understand the complexity of that, you can master any other relationship. You know how much strength it takes for a submission and that a submissive and that type of relationship to give over power to the Dom? You know how much restraint it takes for the Dom to not run out of control with that
Mhm.
access to that power? See, when we're talking about submission in marriages, it speaks to that same principle. Do you have restraint? Do you know how to will power to someone that will give over that level of willfulness to you, to give you that access and control? The reality is, a whole bunch of people on both sides of the coin simply do not have it. They don't have the ability to yield and they don't have the ability to wield. But you have all these people talking about complex ideologies that they can't grasp. It's sad. Hmm.
All right. So, Vic, resources. Do you believe that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I thought I saw you tap. Yeah. So, resources. Do you believe that resources are a requirement for submission?
I don't. Just to use Raw's analogy, at the end of the day, you can live at the Pike or your local garden store. You can be the owner of it. You can have all the resources you want, but I ain't never seen nobody make the sun go up in the sky. You understand? If God ain't powering what you got going on, then ain't nothing gonna grow. And at the end of the day, the submission of both parties is to him or whatever it is you believe in. However, in order to truly be in submission to the ultimate authority, then that means you must be in order because all things must be done decently and in order. Because there is an order to this thing. There were some instructions left, and it's a way that it's supposed to be set up no matter what you think. Lean not into your own understanding. So, never mind what technology in the world has provided you. Even the lilies of the field do not worry, for their arraignments are even more grand than Solomon. So, at the end of the day, everybody walking around talking about money this and money that. I couldn't care, if money was removed in the barter system, and I don't know, let's just say skip all of that. When it's all said and done, I think Miss Polly was kind of touching on it, and basically, the way she was saying it was she was talking about trust or blind trust, and I don't think it needs to be blind trust, but it does need to be unwavering trust. You understand? And once you decide that this is the thing that you're going to commit to, whether it's this God or this man, then that trust must be unwavering, even when you may question it. Lean not into your own understanding, but trust. And that's the part that makes things grow, in my opinion. That's how you can have that submission.
But you gotta trust him first. So if you don't trust him and you think he can't lead good enough, well, I'm gonna submit to him.
But then you
I
shouldn't be,
agree.
and I agree, but then you shouldn't be with a man that you don't trust, right?
Right.
Remember, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
No,
I'll
it's,
let you say your piece.
no, it's okay. It's
All
okay.
right, so what it is if you understand the role, there is roles to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Freeze, if he's a basketball player, and I'm a basketball player, and we're both pretty good at our job, highly ranked, and we're free agents. Oh, we lost Miss Polly. We're free agents.
Mm-hmm.
we can go to whatever team we want to go to.
True.
Right. I'm going to ask you, without a long one, how do many of the players pick who they're going to go to? Not just the teammates, but who's normally the important piece? You know?
Mhm.
That'll
They,
help you. The
Mhm.
coach.
The coach.
The coach.
Mhm.
High school phenomenon basketball players, football players, high school athletes, they literally look to be coached by particular coaches. After Michael Jordan came out, everybody wanted to go and be coached by Dean Smith because
True.
they felt he created legends. You had
Mhm.
Bobby Knight, you know, you had all of the different people that were coaches. And what happens is there's a hierarchical structure within the teams.
Mhm.
Business management is the team staff management. The coach runs that. Anything outside of the office that hits the court, it's the coach. So when you join that team, you're joining to acquiesce to the leadership of that coach because you trust that that coach and that organization is going to take you up the road. Remember the mission,
True.
but you have to have trust. But the
Mhm.
thing is, you're literally you're signing up to get paid to listen to a man tell you what to do, to listen to a man hold you accountable, to listen to allow another man to make this grown man, you know, to discipline this grown man, like making you run laps,
True.
sanctioning you, all of those different things. You sign up for that.
True.
But why? Because then you know you're going to have to be in that situation where you say, okay, coach, yes, coach.
Can I ask you a question, Chef?
But let me just line this. I got you. But you
Mhm.
do it because of trust of the end goal that you will win. And
Yes.
and you submit to
Mhm.
that hierarchical structure because
Yeah.
you believe it works, which means you
Yeah.
have a role that you got to play,
Mhm.
which
But you
makes
won't cook.
Can you tell me which teams that did not create legends that are losers that people are clamoring to go and join their team?
that's not what I'm stating though. What it is that people are not trying to go somewhere to lose. So if someone goes to a team, they actually and they have a choice to go to whatever team they want. That means that they actually have a plan. They actually have a goal. They're not going to be making a move just so they can lose. So they have trust in that organization's hierarchical structure that they are going to take them where they need to go. And it happens like that. But the thing
No,
is, you have to submit.
right. And I totally get that. I totally get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, tying it back to what I said about resources. See, when you're talking about teams like the Chicago Bulls, the LA Lakers, you know what I'm saying, Denver Broncos, New York Giants, whatever, those teams are known winners. Not only do they have the resources of great coaches, they also have supportive staff. They have physical therapists, they have facilities, they have the ability to pay salaries that are exorbitant. Why? Because they have enough resources. So not only are the coaches creating legends, they're creating legends using resources. I have never in my life ever seen any member of any sports league try to get on the Clippers. You understand what I'm saying? Try to get on the losing baseball team. Try to get on the losing football team. Why? Because people, they will submit where they know their garden will be watered. And I know this for a fact because I actually have spent a lot of time in the athletic world. When you're training for the Olympics, right? And you're trying to get there, you'll move all the way across the country to go be with a coach that has access to resources to put you in front of people that you need to be in front of so that you can win. You're not going to go to bust your neck to go to a podunk town where you're not going to be in front of nobody.
Well, I love you, so I want to miss my teammate, okay? But they did have Doc Rivers, they did have Blake Griffin, they did have Chris Paul. Then they did go to the Clippers.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard. So I'm just saying.
Some people go to the losing teams to be able to have an impact. They'll go to losing teams. The losing teams normally are closer to their what's called rebuilding stages. So what ends up happening, the losing teams get better draft picks. They get newer talent. They get pushed up. So what ends up happening is that it does make a lot more sense for a journeyman player or a player that's pretty good to get a lot more run going to a rebuilding team or even going to become the star there because they know that they're about to pick up a hell of a lot of talent, have a lot of cap space open. So there's a lot of pieces to that particular jigsaw puzzle. But I understand.
They call that a project, don't they, Chef?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's dope. I mean, you learn something new every day. I've never heard of anybody going to a losing team, so it is. But however, you cannot blame someone if they don't want to be on the losing team. I think the reality is that a lot of people want to be seen as a team that has the ability to have a high draft pick or to be rebuilding and have great new talent. But some people don't want a project. Some people want to walk into a brand new ready-made home that all they have to do is decorate. If they wanted a project, they would live in the projects. If they wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like some people have already elevated past that. So again, people that want to submit to the project stages, those are dope. And people that don't want to, they're dope too. I think the problem comes when we try to qualify for other people what they should or shouldn't submit to. I can't tell you, like you said, you're allergic to shrimp, right? If I told you eat shrimp every day is good for you, you're going to look at me like I'm absolutely out of my mind because that shrimp will kill you.
But I don't want to go let me just say this. I don't want to go too far off. Remember, when we talk about submission, I'm not talking about just submitting to a stranger. I'm talking about submitting within the dynamic of a marriage or cohabitation situation setting. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So you've
Let
already.
me
Go ahead. Do your thing, Vince.
let me clear this up just a little bit. In that instance that you're referring to, Raw, it's not someone telling you who or what to submit to. It's once you make that claim that this is who you submit to, and then you act out against something you already made a contract or an agreement to submit to. For instance, Kyrie says, hey, I submit to the Brooklyn Nets, but when it's time to actually put up or shut up, then he chooses to do what the hell he wants. He says, we don't really need a coach. Hey, we'll make it up as we go. And he wants to disregard his instruction. That's when he receives criticism from the outside. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I do, but I think a lot of the criticism comes in judging women in particular by who they choose to jump into that contract and submit to. Like, take for instance, when we were just having the conversation, it's, oh no, well, you should be able to submit to someone if they don't have the resources. If I choose not to get into a contract with someone that requires that because they don't have the resources, then I'm labeled a gold digger, and I should give someone a chance that doesn't have the resources that I require for submission. See, that's when it gets into a little bit of the double talk, because we're talking about pre-contractual choices versus post-contractual obligation. Do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
You better shut your mouth. You hear what I'm saying to you? You better shut your white mouth. You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
I got to shut my white mouth because I'm talking good sense. Y'all ladies, y'all better be thinking wisely before you make that commitment, because when you take those vows and you get into marriage, it is for richer or for poor, in sickness and health. till death do you part, for as long as you both shall live. So go into it knowing what it is that you require to perform at your optimal capacity, and make sure that you have contingency plans in place for your family in case your husband has a moment where he needs you to be a support. Like, are we not, is that not a valid conversation?
Said it. Turn.
The
Yes,
thing
there
is,
should be terms to marriage on
Yes.
both ends. There should be terms. Why
right.
are we?
Here's the thing though. I get there should be terms and all of that, Robbie. But what I'm speaking of, what I'm referring to when I speak about the submission, I'm speaking about once that woman makes that decision to spend the rest of her life with this man, she should understand that submission is a part of the game. Because remember, you said it earlier, we both submit. She may submit to her mate or her husband, but her mate or her husband submits to the entirety of the mission, which means he goes, breaks his back, works 40, 50, 60 hours, knuckles bleeding, comes home, keeps a stiff upper lip, does whatever house chores, is a dad to the kids, goes out, rinses and repeats on Monday. There's a level of submission. Love, the people that believe that love is an action word, believe that submission is also a part of that. You're submitting to the love that you have for that mission and the persons within that mission. So all I'm stating is that when you get that rock on your finger and you say yes, that you should also understand that yes, before that yes even comes, there should be that level of trust, because that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the trust fall. The whole point of the trust fall, you know, you put your hands across your chest and somebody stands behind you and you pray to God that they catch you. That trust fall is for both people. For both people. For one, it allows that person with their hands on their chest to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and releasing control of certain powers, because we can't control everything. But then when that other person catches them, the person with their hands across their chest has built a higher degree of trust in that person. But not only that, it builds a level of onus in that person. Why? Because it builds a level of responsibility within them now, because they're saying, wow, this person really trusts me, which means that I'm going to have to make my decisions at a higher level. So that submission is synonymous or congruent with the trust fall. But I believe you shouldn't even take that ring if you're not willing to do that, or if you haven't had enough trust, then you shouldn't even accept the ring. What do you guys think about that?
All
I
facts.
agree. I agree.
But I'm not saying some people do, and that's why some people it doesn't work out, because they don't have the trust for him. Not every man can lead. I keep saying that, and they think everybody is a natural born leader. He ain't.
That's facts all day.
Right, and therein lies an additional rub.
Mm-hmm.
You're laying with or choosing to spend the rest of your life with someone that you recognize is not a natural leader, but then you go and choose them as your leader. Okay? So you're going to go to the person.
No, he's not a leader.
Hold on. You're going to go to the person that has to do remedial math to do your taxes.
No,
you tried it.
You tried it. I know. I see you trying. Don't try to talk about me. But you ain't gonna know he's a natural born leader until he start leading, and you see some shit he's not doing right. So that's how you know he's not a leader. He got to show up in your life, and you know I can lead me. But you my man, okay. But when you find out
Keep out the girls this time.
you be like, oh, he be getting mad with you. So I'm just saying this, when you know you can lead and when you know you have been a leader, because it takes a village to raise children. And if I'm a leader in my house, I'm raising my kids, I can lead. I know how to lead. Okay. So when y'all feel like your leading skills ain't good enough, your communication skills ain't good enough, and you don't even know how to be right. So why don't let you lead me?
Man, I don't know what that's it still comes down to. So then you're not going to let them lead you, but then you're going to want to be their wife forever. If you recognize all of these things that you just mentioned, would you stay with the dude after you mentioned all of those things?
No, but it takes time to get to know. It takes time to get to know somebody and know if they're a born leader. Okay.
Right, but what you just gave was an exception. Here's what I'm stating to you. You're stating that if you knew earlier, you wouldn't have been with the guy. And then you said that if you found out later, you would leave the guy. You would not be with the guy. So that's an exception. You get what I'm saying? That's an exception. But how about, so watch this. Before you figured out that he was a loser that didn't know how to lead, were you being submissive then? Because submission is not something you turn on and off, you know.
No, probably, I ain't a submissive woman. I ain't going to lie.
So then,
I'm not. That's just who I am. I got to make sure you can lead right. Let me see your skills.
She want a guaranteed contract.
Show me what
guaranteed contract. The one thing that we don't get.
What?
I said you want a guaranteed contract. I said the one thing we men.
No, I got to see how you lead in your life. Let's see, are you a good father? You a good provider? If you showing me that you are, then you a leader then. But when you ain't leading nobody and you think you can lead somebody, and don't come in here trying to lead me, because I'm already leading some people already around me already, okay? I'm really good. Now, but you can add to my life, okay? Add, not subtract. Okay, I ain't saying all that. But let me show you what your leading skills are. Because like don't come up here trying to show up and be a Captain Saber woman. No, I'm not asking for that.
Hey, hold on. What you was talking about resources. That's how we got here. Mm-hmm. And was resources necessary for submission? And what's happening a lot of these times, based on what you were saying, is people see these max contracts. They say, I want a max contract. You ain't no NBA superstar. You didn't work on your skills. You ain't been in the gym. You ain't been hitting the weights. You can't make your weight requirement. What the fuck are we talking about? Stop asking to be the star. Yeah, you need to go play for the Kings and not the Lakers, because you can't take that scrutiny. You can't take the coach hollering at you every day and making sure that you eating this and making sure that you in the gym 3 times a day instead of 2. You need to go somewhere where the bar is a little bit lower and you can shine. And maybe you can help that franchise build up and get a little more credit. But however, a lot of people see, oh, that's the Lakers. Look at all them banners they got on the wall. They proven winners. But you ain't no proven winner. So at the end of the day, you got to be careful what you wish for, because those requirements on those proven winners are a little bit higher, and you may not qualify. So,
but the thing of it is, there's a lot of proven losers that are running around here with requirements as if they are proven winners. If you not winning, if you don't got your money right, if you don't got your weight up, if you ain't been hitting the gym, if you don't have no stamina and no longevity, don't come in there like you is King Kong of the world. No. I need to have only green M&Ms. No, I can only drink Voss water. Don't come into the situation like that, because you really are like the backup player. You sitting all the way on the 4th bench, but you coming in here like you the all-star. See, this is the problem. A lot of people on both sides of this fence need to chill out, tone it down, and farm from the farms that are local to them. Like, stop thinking that you qualify for an upper echelon chick that got her breast on fleek, her belly on snatch, and her booty on tootie, and you over here Doing what? Bagging groceries down to the Kroger? No, you don't qualify. Stop acting like you have enough authority to tell a woman how to lead some kids when all you doing is sitting on a couch in your holy underwear playing Madden or Call of Duty. If all you
Using
want to do is go,
exceptions.
I'm saying though, but is this really the exception when so many
Using
men,
exceptions.
grown men are fueling the Xbox industry? When so many grown men are sitting there and having aspirations and following behind people and complaining about women that don't want to be with them and don't choose them. And I know the
You
the
conflate.
opposite can be said about women complain about men. And at the end of the day, I feel like this: everybody needs to stop complaining. Everybody's complaining because they're not getting no love and affection. Get the love and affection that is suited for you and nurture that. Stop trying to grab outside your wheelhouse and stop trying to put other people down because what? You don't
So
like
that's
them. If I don't like you,
interesting.
I just don't like you. Move
That's
away.
interesting. It's just interesting. It's interesting because you're doing a little conflating there, right?
Am
Now,
I?
what you're using was some of the worst exceptions, talking about the men sitting down playing Xbox, you were using some of the worst exceptions. But then there's another piece was interesting to me. And I listened to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rating system that you use sounds almost synonymous with the whole high value man dynamic that Kevin Samuels was talking about, because you were talking
Mm-hmm.
about staying in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
So what you literally did was create a tier classification for the men and the women,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now,
Right.
so let's rock with that.
Okay.
So let's state your tier classification for men and women is fully
Yeah.
accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Then would that mean that the woman would have to submit to the man still? Because now, if you told the dudes to stay in their wheelhouse, so if he's a grocery bagger, all right, let's say he's not stepping out of the line, he's a grocery bagger,
Mm-hmm.
and he meets Jenny from the produce department,
Mm-hmm.
all right, they both make the same low income.
Mm-hmm.
Does he deserve submission?
If he can provide the total care and keep that balance, absolutely. See, because for me, I don't care if you're a grocery bagger or if you're the CEO, because I know plenty of very, 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 very wealthy men that don't provide total care to their woman.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
now, yeah, listen, yeah, all right. Look. You know
Hmm.
what?
And I know, but but to be in opposition to that, I also know several men that make $50,000 or less that would be offended if their wife paid one bill in the house, because that is a slap in the face to their manhood. And I can tell you what, the men that I know that are middle class Americans that are taking care of their families and holding it all on their shoulders, those men that have wives that submit willingly, it's not a problem and it's not an issue. When you're providing security and stability for a woman financially and emotionally, she's not going to give you certain type of pushback because she's going to be happy. It's going to be in her to go outside of her way to make sure you are comforted and you are okay so that you can continue doing what it is that you do for them. It's about that balance, that homeostasis.
Hmm. True. That is
She
so
gonna
true.
do just enough not to get fired like anybody else on their good paying job.
Well,
Oh God.
Not to get fired, big. Really?
That's how.
I think
Listen,
it's unfortunate that that might be your experience,
Thank
but
you.
money
I'm
ain't gonna make
telling you,
nobody stay nowhere as far as like, okay, well, I get paid $30 an hour on my job, so I'm gonna do it to the fullest. No, you're gonna do it to the fullest because that's who you are. And it wouldn't matter
right.
if they was paying you $8 or $30.
So
Now,
I
if you a disgruntled employee, you a disgruntled employee. It don't matter how much you making. But at a $30 an hour, you may use that as a reason to stay longer than you normally would, which is what's actually happening.
and thank
So
you for shoring up my point because, like I said, I know wealthy men that are not providing total care for their women, which means
exactly,
security and stability. But I know men that are poor that are providing total care, which means security and stability. So you're right. It's about the disgruntled employee. Because I know men that have walked a journey with women to a point where they were in homeless shelters to a place where they are now owning multiple properties and both making very, very high ranking salaries. But the reason the woman was submissive and stayed for the amount of time that she stayed was the total care poured into her. It was the love poured into her. It was the nourishment poured into her that afforded her the opportunity to sustain that.
When you love somebody, you can move mountains. How about that?
But check it. Just because, listen,
You know,
Chef, I'm not playing with you.
Well, I do have a question because because like when we first started, we said I said it didn't really matter as long as I saw effort being put towards getting, better every day. That's what I would like to see. Progression, of some sort, or at least, consistency on that level. If we're saying that they have to have something set up already, a certain amount of money or whatever set up already, or being at a certain place, then that person wouldn't qualify, maybe to some people, depending on what they're looking for. So I guess my question is, sometimes I think women are saying they want this man to make a certain amount of money. Where's the amount of money? What is the amount of money that qualifies this person to be good enough for you? A lot of women don't make any money. And for someone who doesn't make any money, wouldn't $30,000 be enough? Because that's more $30,000 than you're making. So what would qualify as well off enough? And I think those numbers, people say, there's lots of people making over 100,000. There isn't. If you look at the actual goal and look, there's not this abundance of people who are making these crazy amounts of money. So we're talking about just the majority of America. What would be sufficient for someone to be considered stable enough for a woman to submit?
And like I said, it's about total care. You're right. It's gonna look different.
Because if it's total care, money would be included in that total care, but you're moving that out. So then where's the total care?
I'm not.
The total care covers everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make sure I get. So if it covers everything, money would be included. Then if they're not providing enough money, then they're not given the opportunity to show that, because growth takes time sometimes. So then someone would be disqualified for not being allowed the time to show that growth.
Right. So that's why I said, depending on where you are, what works for you. If you don't have any money and you choose to, and you find a man that gives you total care, you don't have any money, and whatever salary he makes is comfortable for you, that's great. I make money. So therefore,
that's a good
so
example.
wait, hold on. I make money. So like how I was saying earlier in the conversation, I'm never going to be with a man that makes less than me, where my earning is going to attack his ego, because there are things that I want to do that I can provide for me. There are things that I like that I can provide for me that he cannot. That is setting up an issue for contention. So to what Chef said,
what if that's not the guy?
What if it didn't? What if he's fine?
Right. What if
I'm gonna tell you
was balanced? What if his
I'm gonna tell you the truth. It always comes down to the ego when woman has the ability to do what a man cannot provide for her. When a man feels like something is not required and a woman knows that it is required for her and she can do it for herself, it always causes a problem.
Okay, Rob. So this is my question for you then. If you're saying that your financial status or ability to provide for yourself is making your man, no matter who the man, not just one particular man, but men in general, it makes them uncomfortable, right?
That make less than me. Yes, it does.
Yes, these men that are making less than you, and you want to live a lifestyle that they can't provide for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are in submission to the will of the family, not to your own will, but to the will of the family, why would you want to live a lifestyle that you both could not afford?
And therein lies the rub. I'm not having a family with nobody that is making less money than me. I don't entertain men that make less money than me. See, those are things that I used to do when I was young before I had children. Because unlike a lot of women, I also waited until much later in life to have children so that I can have these adventures and journeys and see what works and doesn't work for me. And as a complete and total woman, I'm telling you right now, I'm not dealing with
That
men
doesn't work
in
for
the
you.
right. That
Die,
doesn't work
dog,
for me.
die alone.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah,
Well,
I would agree with
tight,
that.
hold tight, because then that's what people throw into the mix. Die alone. So you're telling me that you don't believe that there are men that are compatible that make more money than me. See, that speaks to your
No.
level of
You stop.
this.
Wait.
Who said that? No, you
That's
don't.
the whole argument of Kevin Samuels. What you're doing is because you're so successful and you're so smart and you're so this. I don't think you want to stop where you are. I can only imagine that you're going to get better and you're going to have more aspirations to get better and you're going to thereby make more money. And
Right.
Miss Polly just brought light to the fact that it's not the majority of men who are making this kind of money, or people in general. So you just, every time you do better for yourself based on your logic, you're literally shrinking your dating pool. Now, had you already had this man that you like or you love, then your progression, it's not affecting anything. But every single time that you make a progression without, hang on, Andrea, every time you make a progression without that man already being in pocket, you are shrinking that dating pool and the potential for you to do anything but die alone.
So
Well,
you
see,
said
his
money, and you said, "Oh, man, I'm just because get this right." Are you saying if I make the most
Wait,
money?
hold on one second, Andrea. Hold on one second. I got somebody in the back named Angelus. I'm gonna need you to flash your cam, family.
that's
your
Ray
name.
Pill.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, so are you saying that if I'm making the most money, I'm making good money, and I'm doing better for myself, I can't get a man that makes the same amount of money as me because I'm making good?
That's not what I said.
No. Hold on, Andrea. Let me provide you the clarity that I heard from what
Oh,
he
you're
had.
tagging in. You're tagging in. This tag team.
Tag
You're tagging in now,
it.
right?
Okay.
What he had.
You see what they doing, Vic? You peeping that,
She
right?
trying to come off the top
What?
ropes on me, man. Hold me
See,
down, chef.
what they
Folding
had
chairs.
said was, women, if you making money, brothers are never gonna catch you. They're never gonna match you. They're never going to surpass you. There's only a certain amount of men that are making a certain amount of money, and that dynamic is never going to shift. So therefore, you must settle or stunt your growth so that you can be compatible and amenable to men that are simply not worthy because they're not where you're at. And at the end of the day, if it comes down to stunting my progress, settling, or dying alone, well, all hail King Jesus. I will be married to the Lord, honey. I could keep all of this coochie to myself. It is not a problem. It is not a problem.
First of all, don't hide that pussy, divide that pussy. Second of all,
I give it to myself. I'm not going.
Hey, listen, Raw. I need you to reconcile this. These are your words. The woman is the queen. The queen can move around. The queen can be the protector. In America, they have set it up. In particular, this is not the fact that all black women, I'm not going to say all, but all of these black women that are being successful that we see, more so than even the black men that are being successful now, as far as numbers are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed that way. It's very uncomfortable to put that many resources in the hands of black men. So this is a concerted effort to make sure that the dynamics and the ratio is off. However, based on what you said, the gardener, which would be you in this case, needs to have sufficient resources, which you, based on what you said, you do. So the more resources you garner, the better gardener you should be able to invest and nurture this plant, no matter what stage it is, whether it's a seedling or it's just germinating or it's full bud. So at the end of the day, it should not be a slight to you or something that you turn your head at when all these resources you gather are specifically to assist you in your ability to garden.
Now, see, this is the rub, and this is the whole great part of it, right? The garden that I tend to includes the children. See, so all of my resources is going on my children at this present time. However, because I have all the resources to tend to the garden, right? Like how men always say, women choose, right? The gardener choose the seeds. I choose not to have seeds of crabtree grass. I want to have seeds that are papayas, that are mangoes, that are watermelons. You understand what I'm saying? Things that are going to produce a bountiful harvest. Why for do I have to grow a garden of weeds? I don't, and no other woman has to either. At the very end of the day, number one. Number two, we always having this conversation with Black women, right? As if Black women are subjugated to Black men alone. But Black men will say that they are passport bros. They're gonna go see Becky. They're gonna go see Kinley. You understand what I'm saying? So
she want exotic fruit. That's what she want.
Listen,
okay, she don't want no more eggplant. She want. All right, I get it. You want dragon fruit.
At the end of the day, the world is your oyster. You better stop limiting yourself. I don't know about you. I mean, chef is a chef, so he know what to give. Everybody can't eat chicken every day. Some people need to eat a little scallops. Some people need to eat a little lobster. Some people need to eat a little shrimp. Some people need to eat a little steak. Some people need strips. Some people need wagyu. There's a multitude of flavors in the world. Taste the rainbow. What's goody?
You know, I will say I've been in a position, or I've been in those positions where I've been with someone who wanted a more traditional partner. Well, I've done that a couple times, but who wanted to be a traditional partner, almost too traditional. I'm not traditional. And so he wanted a very traditional partner. And the thing, like I like to, grow. I was a lot younger than him too. So, I wanted to, I'm going to school, I'm doing things, and he just hated it. Like he would actually make it hard for me to do things because he said that wasn't necessary. I should just stay home, take care of kids and do this stuff. Even though I was doing it already, he said there was no reason for me to try to do more. And that was something I didn't like because I felt like, okay, my potential is higher than this. And you're stunting my growth because you just see me as this position. And that's what you want and desire for you. And that was the discussions that we had. But he was at one point, no, not where he was. And with me, we grew together for him to get to a place where he could provide for us with, where he's supposed to be. And he continues to keep growing. But for me, it's not what I want. I don't want it. I'm more modern. I want to be outside. I like that challenge. I want to do those things. I want to run businesses. I want to do those things. And I'm with partners now who want more equal with me. And then the other one, he like I said, he's a little bit different. So if I just don't base it on, okay, you're not where I'm at, because we all have different journeys, different times. But as long as he's showing this progression that I'm just doing this, or I'm starting over, I want to try something different and do this, that's enough for me personally. And I feel like as long as we're as a team and building, it should be okay. But just because I've built something, I'm starting to go further than him, I don't believe I should just, not allow them to try to talk to me. Like I said, I do have a line. Like I'm not going to talk to somebody who ain't worked in 3 years. I'm not going to talk to a man who don't got a job, don't have a car, and he doesn't care if he does or does not. That's just not going to work for me. But to show someone's progressing, they changed positions, they had an injury, all that. I mean, I can see that there's progression. I'm okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't try to aim high. because that's not what I'm saying. If you know someone who's doing what you're doing or more than what you're doing, date them. Try to date them. You know what I'm saying? Men, there are a lot of men who aren't on that level anymore. Like I was just saying, just to make sure you just put that his part in there. One of my partners, he just hates the fact, because he did have an injury, that I bring in more money right now. And he doesn't like it because he had injury and he has to work less. But at this point, I say, hey, that's okay. You can't do what you're doing before, but then you can contribute other ways. That's where that partnership comes in place. Because just because it switches for now doesn't mean that you can't contribute to what we're doing and our progression. It's just different.
Amen.
It's no longer money. It's something different, you know?
Amen. And praise God that you have the strength to endure. And praise God that he's willing to pour his equity into y'all's situation in other ways, because some men, most men, when they are in that state of depression because they are not the breadwinner, they don't even have the ability to pour into the family any other way. They just kind of shut down. And I'm sorry, I have had struggle love, and I ain't going again.
It's over with now. Everybody's trying to struggle for some love. That's that bullshit.
I ain't going again. I ain't going.
But Chef, can you go back?
Damn, Andrea, the red pill community was just starting to embrace you.
Lord.
Can you go back and show what Dawn wrote? Because I like what she said.
No,
let me look.
I don't want to show it. No,
I do want you to.
Why?
Wow, don't be scared.
Yeah, what Dawn say? Wait a minute, I'm gonna look myself.
That's black men's tactic against black women. That's what they say to us.
what?
Right.
That's not want to settle.
What
Thank
Dawn
you,
say?
Dawn.
Personally,
When
I'm
a
not gonna
woman
settle.
is single and does not want to settle, people use that die alone thing.
Thank you.
Personally,
Die
I'm not gonna
Die
settle.
alone.
I will wait for someone that's worth it, or I will be happy to die alone. Amen, Dawn. And you know what? My
You got
mama
to be able to
and
accept that fact. When
my
you go
mama
to war, you
and
got
my
to
daddy.
accept the fact that you may do some killing, but you may die today as well. So at the end of the
Well,
day, when
So hold on. Let me say something real quick.
Tell us.
Let me say something real quick.
That's your tactic to tell us to pipe down. That's your tactic to tell us we
yeah, pipe your ass down, starting right now.
no, Victor, no, we quit.
Die alone.
Mutiny.
Okay.
Anarchy 99.
Listen, so I don't watch this. I don't speak the die alone thing, right?
Thank you.
But there's something very important. There's something very important. And you know, logic and emotion tend to make a nasty cocktail, because the heart is an illogical organ, and it will make you ignore science and mathematics. So the simple math, and that's what people keep forgetting, the mathematics is what drove the rest of the hyperbole. People will use hyperbole, but dramatic speech and all of that to drive a point home. Here's the thing about hyperbole. It's true, but they add extra booms and explosions to make it hit harder. So let's go back to the simple math piece. When a vast majority of the women that exist, right? And some people try to say, oh, the women outnumber the men. It's almost equal. 1.1 to 1, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's not a real thing. But now, when you get a vast majority of the women want an extremely small percentage of men, then what happens is it creates a funnel that or a bottleneck, more or less. Because what's going to happen is there does not exist enough of those men to be able to accommodate all of those women. In terms, we know the math in terms of men making above a certain amount. I know Robbie got the facts. Men making above a certain amount, it's 1%. And then now when you whittle it down to brothers or men of color or black men,
right,
the percentage gets even smaller. So what's happening is, here's the beauty of it now. Now I want you to watch this. You see, when they say, I'm gonna put Dawn Sting back up here now, right? But you just gotta rock with me real quick.
Okay.
She does not want to settle. I'm not going to settle. I will wait for someone that's worth it. I'll be happy to die alone. So now, what is one of the number one pieces of communication that has been given to our brothers, to our young brothers? And they normally do it when we talk about getting STEM into our community. What do we say? They all want to be rappers, athletes, right?
Yes.
They all got dreams. They believe in themselves. They believe in their goals. They believe they can make it. They really want it. That's their dream. But we have people that created a movement to tell them that dream is not actually reality. Go do this thing. But now, when we have women, a good majority of women that desire the men that have the money of rappers and actors and you know, and athletes, we're supposed to say, hell yeah, girl, you could do it. Wait as long as you want. It's so funny. Really, you know, what's the biggest freaking conundrum is with women and men. Reality and wisdom is what's used to smack us in the face. Get out of your head. Walk it off. That's some bullshit. That's a dream. Ain't nobody got time for that. Practical stuff, right? But don't you dare confront a dream of a beautiful flower with that twinge of reality, because then what you're doing is destroying her hope.
Now, see,
you ever seen a double standard? Come on now, you gotta.
Chef,
no.
Chef, you're conflating things.
Oh no! No, come on now. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in Dawn's statement that you so graciously put on the screen, she didn't say that she wasn't gonna settle for a man that didn't have a basketball or a rapper salary. What she said is she know what she want, and she's gonna wait for someone that is worth it for her. And I understand what you're saying, because I sincerely believe that when women say they want men that are doing better than them, men hear that they want men that are making a rapper and an athlete's salary. So it's always a breakdown of communication, because as Miss Polly said, what is acceptable to her, what is comfortable for her, is going to be different than what is acceptable and comfortable for Andrea. It's going to be different than what is acceptable and comfortable for me. It's going to be different than what is acceptable and comfortable for Dawn. And I think that men, or it appears that when women say this in different conversations, men always hear it as them seeking the high value man, because they're watching these dating shows and these reality shows where women are talking that talk, and the women on the dating and the reality shows, sorry, not sorry, they qualify for those men with those type of salaries. But the reality is, like Freeze said, when I said I keep all of this goodness to myself, he said, don't keep it to yourself, divide it and share it out. See, that's the downfall of man. The downfall of a man is he always trying to get back to whence he came. He always trying to get back in between some legs. So I'm going to tell you what, that I know. If a man don't got it, he gonna get it in order to do whatever he got to do to get that woman that he wants. So women should not settle. If you, and you're right, Victor, women do have enough resources to nurture and pour into a man. Because I tell you what, ladies, when they want you, they finna make it happen. Men been making it happen. Well, masculine energy's been making it happen in my circumference since I was 6. When I was a little girl, little boys would go to work with their dad to be able to buy me an ice cream from the ice cream truck just so they could walk with me to school. Don't get it twisted, ladies. Know your worth and stand firm on it. That part.
Yes.
Can I?
First of all, you see that part like she did a mic drop.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, if I was gonna do the mic drop, it would be. That part.
Hey, so look, I think Miss Polly brought something to light that doesn't get discussed as much, and it's when a woman chooses a man and then, like you say, a man stifles her dream or tells her, hey, listen, I don't need you to do all that extra. Nah, I don't want you going to work. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, he chooses to keep you where you are. If it's only for his own peace of mind and knowing where you're at. However, when you go and apply yourself to a job and they say, all we need is laborers. What you can't do is in 90 days say, look, I'm killing this laborer shit, but I got more skills, right? You can say that. But if they told you from gate, nah, I don't got no more positions. That's all we need is laborers. All of management, that shit locked. Best you can do is be lead laborer. You have to be able to accept the position you took unless there were other terms with advancement inside of that contract. I've dealt with several women who have agreed to something that later they wanted to amend, and I think that's where the issue comes, is when you're mid-contract and you want to amend and you say, nah, yeah, I just signed that bullshit on a rookie deal, but I didn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable just being the wife, just being the mom, just staying at home and make as if that wasn't enough. If that's not enough for you, if you've got all of these ambitions, you got to find you that man that is comfortable and not only accepting your growth, but assisting you in that growth. Because a man who will tolerate you going and doing your shit, now it's going to annoy you because you're going to say, he don't support me. He don't really want to see me grow. He want me to fail. You're going to use that shit against him. So you got to not only find somebody who will tolerate you in your ambition, but you got to find somebody who will support that. And now that you're putting the bar so high, that's hard.
Those words you're using, tolerance and all those are harsh, because like if you're saying, okay, first off, we were talking about people who've been together. If you're talking about people you're just meeting, first off, you haven't vetted that person good enough to know what the hell they want and what they're going for, then you probably shouldn't be with them anyway. There's a lot of people who are trying to get with people they have no business being with just to say they got with them. That's idiotic.
Exactly. You taking a job because you ain't got no job. So you'll take anything right now. You'll accept all kinds of fucked up terms just to say you got a job, and people stop looking at you sideways because you saying you unemployed. That's just like saying you single.
Younger. I think there's a lot of younger women like that. I'll be honest. When you, especially if you have children or things like that, that kind of advances where you are in your mind, because then you kind of are no longer just saying what's good for me. You're maybe even thinking about other people that you take care of, things like that. That changes the dynamic. And then you should kind of know what you want when you're older. A lot of the people you see on these shows and things like that, they're very young girls. Some of them maybe not so young and maybe haven't had children, haven't had the experience. And they're just saying, oh, I just want this, this, and this. And some of those requirements I believe, are a little out of line. Like you said, there's going to be a funnel where you're asking for everybody to be over 6'1". You're asking everyone to make this much money. You're asking for them to also be charismatic, also have this. And then on top of that, pour into just you. And, and this is just me and my monogamous mind saying this. And you want them to all be about you. And if this is where you're going, you're going to have, like you said, a small amount of men that everybody wants, but not everyone's qualified to be with. Like you said, there are women who think they want to be with someone who's in the entertainment life, but they can't handle a lot of women or a lot of other people giving their partner attention. You have no business with somebody in the limelight.
Facts.
That's not where you belong. You belong with somebody who's probably, maybe someone over here is working in engineering and they like to be home and they like to be enjoyed by you. You're just trying to find things someone told you should like.
I feel like what works well, every relationship don't work for everybody. So I'm good with a plumber, a painter, a
Mm-hmm.
carpenter. I'm good with all of them. Okay, they make good enough much money for me. Okay, I'm good with all of them kind of brothers. I don't need a high value man, as they say, a 6-figure, because I still say
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a high value man can be an asshole. Okay, I'm just
Right.
being honest.
Most of them are. Most of them
I
are.
love a carpenter, a plumber, a painter, a postal worker. It's just fine with me, as long as he can take care of himself. Okay, and if I'm gonna be his wife, that's me. I'm added to his plus. Okay, so that's okay with me. But I'm not. I don't need. I want to make sure he can provide, protect, and lead.
Yes.
It's important. He got to lead.
And
if he don't
Vonda,
lead nobody,
hustle
how
or
he gonna
something.
lead?
Right. And I mean, the tolerate thing was like, you was driving me with
Yeah.
that phrase. First
Yeah,
of
it was
all,
the phrase.
nobody don't have to tolerate nothing. I am who I am. You don't like me, move to the left. And that's how a lot of people need to wear who they are. If you are with somebody and they don't like who you are, move to the left. What you mean tolerate? Just like what? Somebody got to tolerate you picking boogers in your nose. Somebody got to tolerate you sitting on the couch watching the game, listening to the game all loud, yelling and shit, having all your boys over, making chicken wings for you and your friends. Somebody got to tolerate all of that. It sounds crazy. And too many people talking about relationships as tolerable. If I get into a relationship with Miss Polly, I'm not tolerating nothing from her. I'm gonna get in a relationship with her because I think she's stunning. I like her personality. I think she's gonna make me happy. She thinks I'm gonna make her happy. We're enjoying one another. People gotta change the parameters on how they choose it. Relationships, be like-minded. If I say to Andrea, girl, let's go on ahead and go to Miami. Okay, cool. Let's go. Why? Because we are like-minded in the same, you know what I'm saying, financial pool to be able to do certain things. People not picking their friends right. People not picking their lovers right. And then you have all of this anger, this animosity, this hubris, and people being on social media complaining with other people that are miserable as hell. And when it comes down to some job, you better not take no contract with no job talking about some they only finna give you $2 an hour and you finna work like a runaway slave.
What if some women don't know how? Some women don't know how to vet a man. What if they don't know how to vet him right? Okay, maybe that's could be a problem. Okay, I'm just saying.
So
Wait,
then,
if you don't know how to vet a man?
so then what that means is, so if that's what you're saying, is,
Ask the question.
look,
Hold on a
I
minute.
know, but that's a question. That's the thing. If you don't watch it, if you don't know how to vet the man right, then maybe that's the reason that you're not choosing to submit, because maybe your vetting skills may be off. So because you don't trust your vetting skills, you may not trust your future with and trust that person's judgment, because you may always be waiting for the other shoe to fall off. But what that comes
Or
down
staying
to
too
is a
long.
lack of trust. Right. But that still comes back to a lack of trust within your own judgment. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. I understand.
And some people stay too long. I think that's what it is. You know, they'll be staying, hoping someone's going to change. No one's going to change unless they want to change. They have to want to change who they are. And if you're not wanting to change, like you people, women are like, oh, I'm just going to keep staying with him, girl. He going to change. No. He going to change what he wants to change. And if he's not going to change because he wants to change, then you need to walk away. And I think that takes time.
Miss Polly, but then when women walk away, then they're vilified for leaving the marriage.
Yep.
Well, you had a
And that's
marriage
true.
and you left. And that's when y'all need to put your middle fingers up, put them 2 ones up, give you 2 high ones. I'm doing what makes me happy. People need to stop
we need
seeking
to stop
validation. Yeah.
I think we need to stop. And then I think part is going too far. Like I said, holding on too long. Why have we gotten to marriage knowing this man ain't doing what he's supposed to do anyway? Well, why have we got there? So, why are we trying to rush to just say that we got married? A lot of people are doing that. I just want to hit that before I turn 30. I was going to be married. Well, that's not the right person. You spend too much time.
Walk around saying that they unemployed.
But that's not.
They don't
I
walk around
understand
saying that they unemployed. That's not a
That's
company.
not
You
a
can't say
job.
unemployed
That is not an employment opportunity.
by
Be
choice.
quiet.
But
for
everybody
you.
understands that is not the ultimate goal. So
That's not a job.
at the look. Let me clarify what I. Hold on. Am I breaking up?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me clarify what I meant when I said tolerate. You got
Okay.
men who are supportive of a woman's ambition. You got men who are trying to stifle and shut that shit down. I'm not concerned about your ambition. Just like they tell you on the job, I want you to work from the shoulders down. I don't need your brain, I need your back. And then you got that in-between class where I don't care. If she want to do something, she can. She don't got to. I pay all the bills, but if she want to, start a business, if she want to go out and work, I ain't gonna stop her. And that's what I mean by tolerate. Because those men that are in the middle, which are the majority of men, because the others are extreme cases, the majority of men are not going to try to stop you from growing. However, what you end up doing and how far you end up going and how much it distracts from the mission, because you came to be a help me. You're choosing this team because you trying to get down with this team's program. All of your individual ambitions must be secondary. And a lot of women try to make their ambitions primary and then shit on the man for not supporting them. And what I'm saying is those men that are in the middle, they may not stifle you, but they may be indifferent about your success and whatever that side mission is, because they see it as a side mission and not as important as the main mission. And that causes those problems.
But the main mission is to advance the family. So for me,
hey, y'all need to be quiet. Too loud.
I cannot be with a man that does not understand that the main mission is to advance the family by any means necessary, because the goal is to create generational wealth, legacy, income. That's the goal.
Okay.
No, what about the children? Somebody's got to.
Vic, let me touch this because I let you cook,
Go
right?
ahead. Do you think?
I was kind of playing my La PJR thing, just clicking away while you're doing your thing.
You
Watch
still have to play the video too. You still got to play the video.
Yo. That's what I'm saying. I got you. Yo.
Yeah, I got you.
So we need to make sure that we don't go too far off the beaten path, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're more so talking about relationships and wifery and husbandry, marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also what we're talking about is man, that just threw me off. So I don't want us to pull too far back off of it, because we're talking about submission, submitting to the other person, and submitting to the hierarchical structure. When I say hierarchical structure, the hierarchy, just like on the police force, just like in terms of a team, you have the choice to join. You have the choice to sign. You're not even an employee of that team. You're actually a partner. You're in a partnership. You're in a partnership with the organization. You're a contract partner with the organization. You're not an employee. So you choose and sign yourself to that term. You understand that there's roles that you play. You're not going to have 3 chefs in the kitchen. If there's 3, one is going to have chef and the other is going to have sous chef on them. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that it is. There's roles. So when I'm talking about just basic reality, and folks you guys don't know where I stand on this thing, but when I talk about basic reality, the basic reality is every dynamic has a structure. Every dynamic has a structure. What's so funny is even the ladies have a hierarchical structure within the dynamic of their female or feminine communities. There's the smart one, there's the glamour girl. They even made a movie. There's the Duff, the DUFF. You know what I'm saying? There's always been a hierarchical structure. always. But then when we talk about the most important union for the world's existence or population, people don't want to do hierarchical structure. It could still be a partnership where you acquiesce to someone else. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be times where the leader of a particular group does not have a particular skill. So he acquiesces to the skill, you know, vetting, understanding the skill set of the person that works below him. And then he'll put them out as he needs them to be. But the thing is, it's a structure, right? Hold on, somebody in the private chat. All right. So now,
A relationship is a good partner.
But have you? Go ahead, Andrea.
That's what Mama Goddess said in the chat. A relationship is a good partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was responding to. A relationship is a partnership. But even when you choose a partnership, right? Someone takes the lead and you acquiesce to the leader. It's natural because you understand that there's a role to play, and you understand that what's going to happen is you trust their judgment that they can help move it forward.
But do you ever view your woman as the leader? And do you think that men are comfortable with allowing the women to lead when the woman has the strength in those arenas?
No, that was the thing that I mentioned a moment ago in terms of somebody who's in charge, allowing somebody else who has that better capability to handle it. It works like that. You know, the captain on a baseball team is not necessarily the best player on the team.
That's right. Management.
He brings something to that team. You know, perfect example.
Yeah, I think I get what you were alluding to, but I think it's super important because a lot of men respect your voice to state it clearly. That yes, sometimes your woman is the leader. Yes, women can be in leadership because when you utilize terminology like the chef or sports terminology, that again is, in the chef, that's become a male dominated industry, but especially sports, that's like men. So I don't know that a lot of men are able to catch the nuance that the leadership can also be women too.
And I was gonna say, because I know Chef brought me up here to say that, but yeah, like I've had it. I know my dynamic kind of throws people off, but it puts me in that position a lot of times because there's only one of me as a woman, and to have them as men, it seems like it's the dynamic that it should be, but there are times where I've even said, well, I don't feel like I'm leading you guys through, what we're going through, even though I'm poly and they're more transitional. But they'll say, no, you're managing this basically. And this is, we look to you to be like to manage that part. But when it comes to certain things, we're going to say what's going to happen. But the management, because I think because I'm the only lady, that makes it a little different. I feel like I think someone asked me how I felt about it. I feel responsible for everyone, emotionally, at least to that degree, to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page. When we weren't more combined before, when we first started talking, we weren't as combined. And so I was managing and making sure everyone is in a good place as a woman. And I think that position kind of changes. And so it's okay to be like, okay, let's say I'm very submissive, but I can be very dominant on my own. If something was to happen to anyone, I could run this without even a thought. I know they know that I would run this like it was nothing. I know that I can stand on and be dominant. So I submit to them as a more like this. I'm giving this to them as, like I said, it's a choice I'm making. But if I wanted to, I'd run circles all over the place. But I know that that's just not something I have to do. I can change it up. I can share tasks. I can do this. I know you're better at that. You're better at that. you know, and as a group, we function very well. So that makes it better, you know, in that light.
All right. So listen, I just want to say one final point on that before we move to the next segment, right? You could submit to somebody as a partner. So real quick story. The person that's actually my boss, right? Vic, you got to meet her. The person that's actually my boss used to be my peer. She used to be my peer. And then there was another position that opened up. But at that time, when we were in the same position, I was in a different position. I was making so much money and I was making so much money based on my skills and based on the people that I led. I didn't want to take that position because I knew I was in control of making a whole lot of bread. So I didn't go for that position. And I was happy she got it because she was awesome. She was awesome. I was there longer than her, but she was awesome. And she had a high degree of skill. And to a certain degree, I felt a little bit more disciplined than me. She's awesome with the spreadsheets, on point. You know, I'm a creative. So sometimes I may waver. And I was like, yo, I even said to my boss, boss's boss, because my boss was leaving, my boss's boss, yo, you need to get her. That's the one. Now, I could have taken that position and been her leader. I acquiesced to her skill. I also acquiesced to the money, right? But the thing is, you know what I call her whenever I see her? What up, boss? What up, boss? My lady's an executive for the company I work for as well. They're great friends. And I still call her boss because I love her leadership. I'm older than her. I love her leadership. I trust what she does. I feel safe, understanding when she needs me to go left. But even though I feel that I need to go right, and I may have good logic for it, I can trust in her leadership. And I submit to her will. And there's times in any job you have to do something you don't want to do. And she'd be like, and she talked to me like that. She's like, I know G Money, but yo, I pay the cost to be the boss, man. And I got you, boss. Hold it down. It's like that. We submit all the time as men, the burden of performance, to be able to bring all of those things to the table that y'all want right away before even taking the ring or giving us your hand, all of those things that you want. We have to deal with the burden of performance to create that. We have to submit every day, submit to pain, submit to dealing with some folks that you could crush, but you have to respect. I'm not talking about my boss or other people, right? But yo, we learn to submit all the time. We submit to the mission. And that's something that's critically important. So it's not just coming with nothing. People like to use the terms about the folks that are doing nothing and just playing Xbox and the Pookies and Ray Rays and use those exceptions as the rule. And I don't think it's fair because there's a lot of brothers out there that are building. And I know nobody wants to go and get the potential. But when we get a woman, that's what we're getting is potential. All right. So let's show some love to these folks that's in here because we had a lot of people jump in that we did not hook up. We got
we'll come back to this conversation about potential, okay, Chef? I mean, we're gonna table talk this conversation to get all your love tonight, okay?
About potential?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That word seemed to rub you the wrong way. We didn't even play no clips. Hold on. Papi Blanco, almost 20 million more women than men. So yes, 20 more million than men. But what I was stating is that the ratio is 1.1 women to one man. So now if you go and you extrapolate that higher, what's going to happen is it's going to end up being 20 million more women. But what we're stating is it's 1.1 to 1. And the last look that they had was 1.4 to 1. So you could check some of the stats that's there. At birth, 105.
Shout out to the lesbians.
Hey. All right, shout out. Beach is better. What's going on? Thank you for coming through. We saw Hanifa. You see, we pissing you off tonight, Hanifa. All right, who else did I didn't get? We got Papi Blanco. There was somebody else.
Mama Goddess is in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I shout out Mama Goddess. I posted a message up there. We on Lock Nation. What's going on? I seen you been bringing some smoke in them streets, fam. Woo! Bolo, mon frère, my brother. What's going on? Thank you for popping through. All right. Let me see what else. Anybody else? We got to make sure everybody knows they're a star in this piece. Andrea Lynch. Uh-oh. Okay. She's gonna be sending doing the meal plan soon, y'all. All right, so stay tuned. Don't even get me started with potential.
Thank you.
Listen, man.
Okay, we're not dating potential no more. We over 40. We ain't dating potential.
I don't think you get it. Here's what I'm trying to say. You're always everybody is marrying for potential. I don't think you get that. Just because he got the 6-figure, the 6-pack, right? The 6 feet tall, right? Got the 6 Bentleys, right? He doesn't. That's not potential. He's made it, right?
Yes, he made it.
Right, but he still got that potential to whoop your ass. He still has that potential to disrespect you. He still has that potential to do every single thing a Pookie and Ray Ray would do, only richer.
Okay.
So when we talk about potential, you see, what you got to do is not allow those words that hold pockets in your heart to clog your ears, because potential, that's not a bad word. It's the ability or capability for something to occur. So we do it all the time. We don't know what kind of mom you're going to be. We want to have children. We don't know what kind of mom you're going to be. We don't know how your ovaries work. We don't know if you have fibroids.
Are you throwing shots?
No.
Nah. Tell that shit straight up. Tell that shit straight, Chef.
Right, like, ooh.
Just fine over here, okay? Just fine over here.
They triggered.
I'm not triggered at all.
All I'm saying is that there's a whole bunch. There's a potential. We don't know about your potential for postpartum depression. We don't know about your potential. All of these different potentials. But it's like there's there's for a lot of things. Nothing is proven. Nothing is proven.
I will agree with that. But when we hear potential, it's them niggas who ain't no good, and you know what we be talking about.
So then that's the way that you hear it. Once again, when we talk about the vetting, because guess what? Let's say you were the great vetter.
Okay. I'll go with that.
You wouldn't be talking that shit right now.
Okay, but
get it? If you were a great vetter, you would not be talking all of that shit so passionately and personally.
Chef.
So you understand what's the missing link?
I ain't doing it with you. That's not nice.
Keep your gloves on, Chef.
Right. You go below the belt. Bow. Ding. No, I'm just.
See, he gonna keep the same energy. Okay, no, I could be not a good veteran. I could be that. I could be. But what I'm saying is, when we hear potential, we hear the Pookies and the Ray Rays. We don't hear the man who got stuff, the man who's leading somebody. We hear the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and we saying we tired of dating them. Okay.
Andrea, do you know that there's women? you know that there's a lot of women on this planet, a lot of women. There's a lot of black women in this world, in this country, that have never dated a Pookie or a Ray Ray.
Right. Can we stop calling black men Pookie and Ray Ray? Can I be quite frank with y'all? I travel in a lot of circles. I travel in a lot of circles across a lot of different socioeconomic brackets, and I never hear these terms in real life. High value man.
They're YouTube.
Hey, we can call them Dans. How about Dans? Dog ass niggas. They exist.
I heard bands. I heard bands though, not Dans, bands. But you know, at the end of the day, the people that are castigated and vilified on these YouTube platforms, right? Because they're in the hood or whatever, and they don't wear the 3-piece suit, and they present as if they don't have no money. I was just having this conversation the other day with someone. Those be the ones that are holding together the entire neighborhood. So I don't care about these 6-figure dudes who not really making no money because they really think that $100,000 is some money, and that's legit kind of considered poverty. I know anyway, but the point is, when you got people that are in the hood that are making significantly less, and they taking their twos and fews and they are stretching it across the community, those are the real high value men to me. If you got all this money and you keeping it in your pocket and you ain't doing nothing for your people, you lower than a slug's belly to me. I don't got a lot of respect for a lot of people because they got all this money, but they ain't pulling nobody up with them. And like how I said, where I come from, coming from where I'm from, I seen a man sit in front of the building every day, look like a whole bum, drinking out of a brown paper bag. But guess what? When this family needed money, they came to him. He had it. When this little kid needed some summer camp money or whatever, they came to him. He had it. When these people needed clothes for school, books, whatever. Real men being fathers to their whole community, and then being crapped on social media because they don't look like you think they're supposed to look. People
Hang on,
real
Ron.
weird to me.
I don't think we have the accurate description of the term. A Pookie or a Ray Ray could fit the description that you're talking about, but that's not based on finances. You can be a rich Pookie or a rich Ray Ray. The idea is about the way that they handle business with women and children in terms of setting and forgetting. It's more so than if they're in poverty or not.
Oh, okay. Because, you know, when I don't really, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't really, this is the longest amount of time I have even sat in one of these conversations because I find these conversations to be pedantic. I came because, you know what I'm saying? Andrea asked me to, and this Chef, you know what I'm saying? I'm always going to pull up for Chef. But, and this is actually one of the most enlightening conversations that I have heard on this topic because everybody is up here having the conversation respectfully. It's no ad hominem attacks. It's no, you know what I'm saying, sneak dissing and all this and all that. And I just wish more people could have conversations in this manner in these spaces. Like, lean not to your own understanding. Actually open up your mind. Like, thus far today in the conversation, y'all done taught me that somebody actually tried to get to the Clippers. I could have saw the Clippers as the most fantastic team ever. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all enlighten me.
You gotta tune into sports on with the show, the sports show with Andrea and Vic on Vic's channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they, you know, and Andrea, she goes in. She's impressive. I actually sent some clips to Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. Okay, for first day, that's my boy. Okay,
you know, she said she's gonna get him. She ain't gonna.
Stephen A. don't want you.
No, she ain't gonna die alone. She gonna get him.
He divested. He divested.
You see, Miss Polly, why we can't have no decent conversation?
I see y'all done went too far. I thought we was being adults in here. No.
That's right. Even with my employees, you can't get the compliments too early.
Oh, you know, and I will say, you guys are doing some statistics. Let's get one right. I'm gonna fix one for y'all because I do like play games a lot. But you know, the PlayStation actually is played by more females than males. What's the statistic on that?
I
Yeah,
said
it's
Xbox.
like 60. Yeah.
I said Xbox, not PlayStation. I know
Oh yeah, well we
PlayStation.
don't mess
Let
with
me
the
find
box,
out.
man. Why you that was like first? Why you even say that word on your Xbox? That don't
Right.
exist. What the hell?
That's the man. The men play with the Xbox. Now I
If
used
you
to
with an
play
Xbox, I can't be with you.
PlayStation.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Don't you sneak out the
exactly.
side door, Raw. Don't you sneak out the side door.
Nah,
Uh-uh.
my whole
What do you
yeah, my pride over here. We
Mm.
can't do that. We
Nah,
even
they don't
said it.
get
If
in
you got
trouble.
an Xbox, you can't date me. That's not
Yeah, the
allowed. I'm sorry.
dudes don't get in trouble for playing with the Xbox. The dudes get in trouble for
Mm-mm.
playing with their ex's box.
Yeah, y'all messing up.
No.
Oh,
No, I know dudes that get in trouble for doing both. Listen, because that's how they get to the ex's box through the Xbox. They put on their headset, be like, "Hey, boo, oh no, it's just me and the guys Call of Duty."
oh, she dropping
Uh-huh.
game.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Meet me, hey,
Mhm.
hey, meet me in the Call
They
of
put
Duty
on the
lobby.
cat ears. Right, they got the cat ears on, and the whole thing is ready to go. They ready to go.
Right,
So let's go to
They
ladies,
got
the
a
make
first.
whole
sure
brown set on over there.
y'all better
Wait
make
a minute.
sure you check the
Is that a
chat
real
logs
stat?
in the Xbox. Check the chat logs. I'm just saying real quick.
Miss Polly, is that a real stat? Hey, stop sneak.
No, that is a
snitching.
real stat. I want to make sure. What was it? Is it 60 or is
More
it 50?
women. What it is
It's like
there's
yeah.
more women that play with PlayStation than they play Xbox. It's not
Right.
necessarily that there's more women that play PlayStation more than men. It's just
on
women
yeah
prefer
on the
PlayStation.
on the
Yeah,
PlayStation.
For
Right.
all the women that play
I'm an
games, there's
Xbox
more
guy.
on PlayStation than
I'm an
Xbox. Okay.
Xbox guy.
exactly.
My
I don't
lady,
know about
my lady
Xbox.
is
I'd have to look
Expert
it
at
up.
the box.
I have to look
Xbox,
up Xbox.
So yo,
Xbox
let's
is
move
trouble. It's the devil.
Let's move this because we ain't finna be here
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
till
sorry.
midnight. Oh no, you good. I just got to jump in there because we're moving on to the other segment, which is the clip
Okay.
party.
Yes.
Oh
So
shoot.
clip party.
Okay.
So let's talk. One of the things that we talked about was, submission, right?
Mhm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give with this one, we're gonna give everybody 2 minutes to lay it out what they think about this particular clip, and then we're gonna go forward because of course there's the big one that we're gonna try.
I say it like
Oh, and also there's gonna be the clip my lady she did. So I want to make sure y'all see that. All right, so here we go.
I say it like this: if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. Does that make sense?
Do you feel women should be
Hell
submissive
yeah.
in committed relationships?
Well, see, here's my thing about submissiveness in the Bible, right? Because that's where it comes from. People love in the Bible. In the Bible, it says you should be submissive to a God-fearing man. So if a man is God-fearing, no adultery, no domestic violence, none of that, right? Like a God-fearing man, of course you submit to that man. Am I submitting to Pookie down the street so he can lead me to hell? No.
Still
I
hurt.
knew you'd like that one.
Okay. A God-fearing man. Shoot.
So who first? You first? Go ahead. You ready? Go. Here's the clock.
A God-fearing man. That's what I'm talking about. Like, no, like he's a leader, natural born leader. He can lead other people. He can lead his flock. He can lead his family. He's a protector, a provider, takes care of his children. He's a good person. He has a good mama, and the mama loves him, and he treats his mama good. That's what it is. I'm good. I'm done now.
Well, okay.
I didn't even say nothing
For
about
the
no
record,
dance. I didn't even say nothing.
for the record, she ain't say all of that shit. All right. And you said money. I'm just saying.
I didn't say nothing about no money. I didn't
What?
say money. They mention money at all.
What?
No, because I think a man he's gonna be what he is. When he makes money, he's gonna make money. If he loves the shit out of his family and loves Andrea Lynch, he's gonna make money for the family. How about that?
I always win on the replay. You said they got to have money. But let it go. Vic, you ready?
So, for the first young lady, I just like to say, yes, ma'am. Yeah. But for everything that was else was said as far as the God-fearing man, that is accurate, because that is pretty much the origin or the source of where that submission theory comes from. The head being Christ, then the man, then the woman, and the child. So at the end of the day, the man is submitting to Christ, which means that his leadership will be right and just, because it's really not his leadership. He's just implementing a plan and a program that was already laid before him, which is why she can trust that man, because he has someone that he can trust and that they both can trust. So he was not going to lead her wrong. So she's accurate about that. However, the Bible also says that a wicked woman is the portion of a wicked man. So that goes along the lines of when they say you track what you are. So if you've been getting a whole bunch of ain't shit men, it's because you ain't shit in one aspect or another. So if you're not a God-fearing woman, stop looking for a God-fearing man. Work on who you are, and you'll attract that God-fearing man. You ain't even in the places where these God-fearing men are. They ain't in the club, I promise.
All right.
Unless they had the Lapeef event.
Okay, that's funny. All right. Robbie, you ready?
Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm gonna wait till you put the clock up. Okay, first of all, yes, when we talking about submission in the Bible, it says, "Wives submit to your husbands, husbands submit to your wives." If you're not my husband, please don't talk to me about submission, because God didn't ordain me to submit to you. Number one. Number two, yes, don't tell me what to do unless you can tell me what to do. You gotta have that little like, yeah, everybody don't got that. Everybody don't got that BDE. Everybody don't got that swag. Everybody don't got that power. And even though I say BDE, a man that got it can look at you a certain way before he even
BBC, what?
speak. BDE. But before he even speak, you'll be like, "Yes, Daddy. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. What did you need? Oh, yes. You're hungry? Did you eat yet? Would you like something to drink?" See, every man don't got that type of pull. Every man ain't about it. And with that, I'm listen. But the men that's about it, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, holla. Anyway, I'm done.
So you talked them up. There you go.
Okay. So
Eric already know what to do, Victor. Mind your business.
So listen, y'all, because now I'm gonna have to keep this locked in, because we have some clips. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go next to Ms. Polly Wright. Give me your clock.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Is it on? Okay, we got it. But well, I'll save that because they want to go biblical. I feel like when they talk about when God created, Adam, and then he took his rib, I feel like he was whole. He made this whole person, who was without any flaws. That was the whole point. And when he removed that for him to not be alone on earth, he basically made us not whole without each other. So to be in the mindset that we are whole alone doesn't make sense. So whoever you're supposed to be matched up with, whoever that may be, it will maybe be someone or some different people that you match up with. They're supposed to complete you, because you're not complete without that other part. No matter how much you deem you're better, or you have better skills, or hey, you're supposed to leave me. All that, at the end of the day, even if he can leave all the way and do all these things, he's not complete without you, and you're not complete without them. So when we battle, to me, it seems idiotic, because at the end of the day, you can be a greatest leader, but you're missing something still. And you're supposed to find what you're missing. And that would make it better as one whole. But you know, I understand. Don't just let anybody lead you down. You got to have some smarts to you to some degree, and we should try to look. People who are out here dating should probably try to look around and see what's going on, find what they want, but be in the right mind and know that, you know, you can't ask for these astronomical things that most likely don't exist because you're not perfect alone, like I said. So you have to accommodate for some of those things. But in all, I think we just, you know, we need to work on those accommodations. Like you said, no funneling. I think we'll be okay.
All right. Thank you. Peace to Mama Goddess. Peace to Derek C. Williams. Thank you for jumping into the fray. So what I'm going to do is this, and just in the balance of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop another clip, and then we're going to do a round robin just to see what we think about it. All right. Because there's a point. This question is about duties. This one specifically is about duties.
There are going to be times and opportunities where it makes sense for the woman to lead and sometimes for the man to lead or for the woman to make the decision and vice versa. I think that both parties have to be on the same page in regards to what roles are appropriate for their house. So if that means that my husband is the better cook and so he's the primary cook for our house and I don't want my kids to get food poisoning, then guess what? He's going to be the cook.
That makes sense.
And that just makes sense. Are you happy and you fulfilled in your relationship, and is your household running at an optimal level because all parties are in agreement? That's what matters.
So let me say this. I'll put myself on the clock. Let me give myself a minute. I believe that what she's speaking is the case within a more modern-based relationship. Within a more modern-based relationship. I don't think that's always the case. And what she's talking about is utilization. You know, it's practicality. Utilization and practicality is always going to be something that you're going to use as a leader because you're going to recognize the other person's skill set. They may have a skill set better than you. It's like that. In the old comic, there was the dude, the Green Lantern. He had Kato, right? His sidekick that was played by Bruce Lee. Kato could kick his ass any moment of the day. But Kato submitted to the leadership of the Green Lantern because he had a plan, he had resources and all of that. But there was a known leader. Derek, I'm going to run it counterclockwise. You let me know when you're ready.
Okay. First off, shout out and respect due to Flatbush's own Chef Supino, Fort Greene Stand Up, North Carolina, Andrea Lynch, How You, Victor Freeze, Miss Polly Wright, the Florida panelists, Mama Goddess, and of course, the voluptuous and articulate Harlem bred, raw, honest Tia. Don't get no better on YouTube. I'm sorry. Yeah.
To your beauty.
Yeah. Just you have no idea, woman. You have no idea. Bless you. I was just gonna say really quick, Chef, with regards to the whole thing with submission. Again, I on my big channel I had made this video called Black Woman, I Need You. I'm not going nowhere without my woman. Raw honest T, while I may veer slightly with what she said earlier about, you know, expand your horizons, I'm going to stay within this parameter of the Black woman. I'm gonna take my chances with her, you know, and we'll see how we rock out. But we not going anywhere. A man ain't going nowhere without his woman, and vice versa. A woman ain't going nowhere neither, right? But when we hear the word submit, and I had said we did a live with Raw and Andrea a few months ago, is that's a touchy word because of our history in this country. When you say submit, lead, all this, no, that's not good. But everybody submits to something in a relationship. Ain't no escaping that. And I do have to agree with everything Ross said, regardless in regards to how she runs her relationship, what man she looks for may not be the man that Mama Goddess looks for. And the same with men. The women that I choose, I'm more in line with Miss Lynch. If she's a secretary or I'm in healthcare, if she's a nurse or RN, I'll take them. Now I may look at her different, even though she work in the hospital, she working in dietary. But if you get where I'm coming from, the fact is that we need one another. But because we are so broken as people, and because men and women issues have been so polarizing, anytime you say the word submit, lead, all this stuff makes people feel like there is a dominant person. And so if you have a dominant person, that means you have an inferior person. And because men are more physically stronger than women, quite naturally, it follows that the men gonna be running shit. And that's the reason why we had this disconnect. But just real quick, we ain't going nowhere without each other. So that's pretty much all I want to say. And salute to y'all.
Peace, brother.
You're on mute, Chef.
Tighten up, Chef.
Peace. Thank you, Billy. Yeah. Mama Goddess.
Really quick. Oh, really quick, Chef. I can. If you got another question, however long you're doing it, I'm gonna go and shower and all that. I can stay on for another 10 minutes or so if you're gonna be on that long. If not, I'll step aside.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be on because I got a little curriculum.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say again.
Nobody need to hear all that. Okay, this one.
He's letting y'all know. Okay, I'm on the way.
Right, look at that.
I already thought I was fresh.
Look, and he got the robe. One Derek, two cups. Right?
We like that robe. It's nice.
You see what I mean, Chef?
Yeah, that robe.
See what I mean?
That robe look like
she gotta have pretty. Hey, Derek, she gotta have pretty feet, bro.
Oh.
Yeah,
that is a good reference. To be honest with you, yes, that is.
That robe is Chanel. You got that Chanel robe. That should feel good against your skin. I see you. I see you. Mama Goddess, come with the heat.
Greetings, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. Hi. I've enjoyed the conversation so far. In regards to and shout out to my girl Andrea. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? Whatever. In regards to the clip that was just played, I completely agree with her. And I say this often. No two relationships are the same. So literally just do what's best for your household. There's no standard of what a relationship or a partnership should be. I mean, loosely, I guess there's a standard, but that standard doesn't fit everyone. That's just what society says a relationship should be. But the problem with that is that we are all individuals at the end of the day, and we all do not think the same. So in that regards, we have to look at it as I'm an individual cohabitating with this individual, and we're going to come together and bring our ideas together, and we're going to do what works best for us. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you. Polly, what you got?
Okay, can I make sure I wasn't on mute? Sorry. Yeah, regards to the video, I would definitely say, find out what works best for you. I mean, that's like the best thing you could ever do, because not everybody's meant to do the same thing in their own relationship. Not everybody's relationship is a cookie cutter relationship. Even within dynamics, it can look or be, the reason for you to specify what you are is just for someone to just know kind of in general what you're doing, but to try to say, well, you have to love when your husband gives you a hug at night. Well, what if you don't like hugs? That doesn't mean you love him less and he loves you less. It's just that's what you prefer. And then we got to stop trying to look for everyone to be the exact same, because we're not. That's what makes it special. And if you try to do that, you're just going to not be happy. Or always, some people are happy until someone tells them that they shouldn't be happy. And so, I really agree with what she was saying, whatever works in your house.
Cool. Raw, what you got?
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go. I gotta put these kids in the bed. I just looked at the time. But it definitely is whatever works in your relationship. Do you fly your own flag, get your freak on, do what makes you satisfied and fulfilled. But as to the taste in the rainbow, at the end of the day, I always say that when black men say you're gonna die alone, to help them open their eyes to understand black women are not limited to you, just like you're not limited to black women. But don't ever think that a woman, any woman, is trying to be tolerated. Women are trying to be loved. And as for me and mine, we going where the love resides, where the money resides, prosperity, generational wealth, and legacy resides. And anybody that can't get on that level got the gift from around me. We are blessed every day to open our eyes and have the fortitude to do something better. So if you're not trying to do nothing better every day, go to bed and stay asleep. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me up here.
Rob, I really appreciate it, girl. You my girl for coming up and helping your friend Andrea Lynch. I thank you. Okay.
Yes, and I'm a holler.
She needed it.
Salute the raw honesty. She has no idea. Lord Jesus.
Thank you, Chef Mia. You're gonna have to chop it up. And Victor, I know you want to have a debate with me, so set it up because I be seeing it in your face every time. You just want to argue with me, so I'm gonna give it to you just how you like it, huh? That part.
Oh, don't even know. You remember the kid in elementary school who used to pull your hair because he liked you?
Mm-hmm. That's Victor. I know. I like him too. He's adorable.
But you better watch out for him. He got that fleece Johnson look on his face.
Let me tell you something. I wish I would have known y'all was going to the Lapice because I would have pulled up on you. That's a quick hop, skip, and a jump. I would have pulled up on you.
Look, you should have rolled, man. There was a hell of a lot of room.
You don't want these problems. you say for what you was.
You know what? Bye, y'all gotta go. Bye.
Nick made you submit. Oh, damn it. But yo,
hey,
go with yours, Vic. Because we got to run this thing. I'm gonna play my ladies clip too. Go ahead.
Short version. Yeah. Put it like this. You a coordinator. A leader is a coordinator, or their job is logistics. It's not that you can do every position. It's that you understand who's best in every position, and you can guide them, and they trust you when you put them in that position, even if they don't see that they're fit for that or tailor fit for that. So, at the end of the day, leadership does not mean you do all the shit. So if your woman is better at something and that's not going to affect who she is in the relationship by putting too much of a burden on her so she can't do her other duties, then yeah, absolutely. Put people where they fit best in your house, your rules. Hey, bro, you got to put some fire on that thing, bro. You keep cooking on low.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't want y'all to hear my daughter in the living room talking, so I keep muting, forgetting to go back on. But yeah, I want to send a little shout out to the queen and the original founder of Battle of the Sexes that spurned a lot of known YouTubers, including Andrea Lynch. You had Derek Williams. You got Mr. Logic that's over on Lapeef. There's a lot of people that she put out there. And by the way,
and our own Mama Goddess too.
And Mama Goddess as well. But got to send a special compliment. Those highlights, I've seen the other pictures. This is the hairstyle right now. That one right there.
Yeah, she's winning.
I've seen, in no disrespect, I've seen the other hairstyles. I'm subscribed to Can't Leave It. I'm just saying, this one that you're using right now, that's the one. That's the one. All right.
Shout out to our friend, the one and only Real Talk 87. Okay, we can't forget about him too.
Oh, come on. Oh yeah, Real Talk. He's that guy.
And Harrison Vlogs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's one of our teammates too. Okay.
Right. So Candidly V got a lot of children.
You sound too low.
Right. We on live. All right. Good evening, Candidly V. So here's what I'm gonna do. My lady wasn't gonna be able to be here. So what I did was she wanted to do a video for me to play, and it discusses how we do in our relationship, and it speaks to the level of submission. You know what I'm saying? So here she goes.
Jasmine, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know you're a submissive wife. Absolutely. Now, what does that mean exactly? What do you do?
Everything.
What does that mean? What is everything?
I do everything for my man.
Okay.
It's a pleasure for me. I pack his bags.
Okay.
I unpack his bags. I cook for him.
Okay.
I wash his body. I don't only wash his clothes, I wash his body. Okay. Hospital style every night. He doesn't even get in the shower. It's too dangerous.
Is he sick?
I lay him on a big old long bedpan and I wash him with soap and water every night.
Is he
my
incapable?
husband doesn't even pee on his own. He has a catheter that goes to my bladder and I pee for him.
Is that healthy?
Okay? And sometimes I do little tests on the pee to make sure he's still healthy because I don't need my man wasting time peeing on his own.
Okay.
He doesn't even take a poop on his own. He poops into my hand.
Oh, no.
I inspect it. Then I use it for fertilizer in our garden and I come back and he stays in the bent position while I run to the back house and I run back and I wipe his ass for him.
That's gross.
That's gross.
Love you, baby.
Submissive woman doesn't have a man who wipes his own ass.
Okay, I don't
know. Why would I do that?
I don't think I want to be that.
I breathe for my man. We
Thank
have
you,
a
baby.
special breathing machine at night. Mm-hmm.
What the
We
hell?
hook it up to his lungs and my lungs.
It's
I
right there.
almost die every night making sure that he can breathe.
Risking your life?
Ride or die.
Doing no work. I need his lungs to work and make money, and that's it. That's all he needs to do.
Are you okay?
And I almost die every night making sure that he can breathe. I pay his child support.
Are you mad or?
Because I don't need him worrying. I communicate with all of his baby mothers paying his child support. You know why?
How many phones do you
Because
have?
I want my man to be free.
Oh.
You know what I would do? I would sacrifice my own everything, my breath. Yeah, my sanity.
You need help.
I'm
You
not
have.
crying right now. These are tears of strength.
Okay.
Yes, she's winning.
That's that bullshit, okay?
I mean, I prefer to wipe my own ass, but you know, I cooperate. I submit. I submit to my ass to wipe.
I wiped my own ass a couple times.
That's a lot.
Man, it's not all that it's wrapped up to be.
That was
Wrapped up to be.
oh shit got real.
Oh man.
I think you need to clarify the record if that's your old lady or not.
You respect her, all right? You respect her. So let's play this thing right here, and then we're gonna talk about it because this is what we came here for.
So this brother told me the other day that he wants a submissive woman. I said, okay, let me ask you one question. Can you submit to all those bills? He's like, what do you mean? I said, what do you think I mean? Can you submit to all the bills? Can you pay all the bills every month? No. Well, what is she submitting to? 50%? Come on, man. Like if you want a traditional woman, you're going to be a traditional man. You know what I mean? Like, cut the nonsense out. See, everybody wants a traditional woman until it's time. Or everybody wants a submissive woman until it's time to submit to them bills. Let me tell you something I've learned. You don't earn submission or submissiveness because you are a male with a PP. No, that's not what happens. It's the love that you have for her, the respect, the totality of how much you respect the relationship, respect her as a woman, as a person, how you speak to her, how you love her unconditionally, in all totality of your presence. That's what she submits to. It's not just because you're a man. You can't even pay your bills, and you want her to submit to you. Like, come on, we gotta be done with this stuff. You think submissiveness is, hey, you're gonna wash the dishes, bring me my food, and I'm gonna pay half the bills. The hell, she could do that herself. She can submit to herself and get the same things that you are giving her. Come on, man. That don't make no sense. You know, I don't subscribe to this submissive nonsense because I believe we should be equal. I believe you should walk next to me. I believe we should be partners first. The wife, I don't really... Somebody asked me, Kirk, what do you look for in a wife? I don't look for nothing in a wife. But however, a partner is the best. You know, the wife is going to be inside the partner somewhere. But the partner is first. Hey, let's make money together. Let's do all this stuff together. Let's make decisions together. Yours and mine. Mine ain't more important than yours. I grew up in a house from a mother who has she was a single mother. My father wasn't there. My sisters learned the same thing I learned. So how can I lead them? You know what I mean? Come on. Like, seriously. I mean, we're going to cut this submissive nonsense. I'm an alpha male. Dude, I'm a divine masculine. It's different. See? I'm doing dishes.
All right. I'm going to jump on this verse. Look at over there. Start stroking that hair.
A partner. That's what I've been talking about. A partner.
Eric Jackson.
Right. That's Derek Jackson. That's Derek Jackson's island cousin, Winston Jackson. He trying to get a whole bunch. He about to get a whole bunch of subs. All right. So let me drop this. Let me put my 2 minutes. Let me get these 2 minutes up.
Go ahead, because I've been talking all night. You go ahead.
First off, what he's saying, I can understand the mindset that he's speaking of. That mindset he's speaking of comes from the mindset of a man that was raised primarily with women. All right. So in terms of his level of understanding of the importance of a man within that dynamic, it more than likely would be lost on him. All right. In my opinion, it would be lost on him. Secondly, what we're trying to do right now is get these new generations back into the marriage thing, back into the family thing, back into the viable procreation thing to create legacies and families and build our community. Because like they said, our population is beginning to dwindle because of intermarriage and all of that stuff as well. So what's critically important is he not deliver that type of message when we're trying to put messages to the men to be the same freaking kind of men that y'all say you want, Andrea. So when you want, no, I'm bringing it because you like, right? But and I'll go counterclockwise to allow you that one, right? Mm-hmm. The same kind of man that you want, fully built, fully ready to go, like they say in real estate, turnkey. That message ain't creating that nigga. That message goes against it. That message is going to have him walking in on some 50-50 shit with you. And he ain't going to ask you for no submission. He going to ask your ass for half. That's what he going to ask you for. Half. But that ain't
all facts.
But that ain't what you want. So, he's speaking those wonderful, great words that warms my heart. But it ain't going to tickle your wallet. I pass it to you.
I need time to think about this, okay?
Oh, okay.
Let my other people go, okay? I need time to think about it. Shut up, Derek, okay? I need to ask you. Shut up.
Go ahead. You let me know when you're ready, dude.
Okay, well, I'm shocked. I often say, imagine my shock. Imagine my shock. Andrea Lynch has to stop and think before she speaks. Whoa. Well, yeah, I'm with you in everything you said, Chef. In theory, I know where he's going, and all that stuff sounds admirable. But most women, if just like you said at the tail end, he's going to want you to come in half. But on the other hand, we kind of like in a society where, look, both folks, if we're going to have a home together and we got kids, everybody better be pulling the same damn direction, and everybody better be coming with a paycheck. So in theory, that is half. But let Ms. Lynch tell it, the man is supposed to lead. So I guess in her world, leading is that the men pay all the bills, right? Men are to pay all the bills. He's supposed to, as she say, lead, protect, and provide. So whatever those three things look like to her, I have to assume that means all the money, all the bills are handled. You make sure I feel good at the, in the midnight hour. The house is taken care of. The kids got good schools, stuff like that, and she'll mop up all the rest. But that's not what that dude. I didn't get that from that dude. He said he wanted a partnership. Well, Ms. Lynch says she wants a partner as well. Well, partners typically go into business ventures with a percentage. So I just leave it there. So it comes down to the percentage. Teddy Pendergrass in his song, I ain't talking about 70-30. I ain't talking about 60-40. I'm talking about 50-50 love. Yeah.
Cooking, hit you with the Teddy. All right. So,
Okay.
Oh, wait. So you ready, or you wanted to wait till the end?
I'll wait till the end.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mama Goddess, let us know when you're ready to rock.
Oh, it's my turn now. I didn't know I was gonna go. So I agree again with what he said. Wait a minute. How come I got a timer and Derek Jackson didn't get a timer?
He did.
It wasn't visible. I demand
after
that.
a minute, I gave him the 1 minute timer.
Okay. Again, my stance is still partnership. One to another, submitting one to another. When it comes to that video, look, come back to me like Andrea, because I had my thoughts together, but then I zoned out when you started talking. I'm just being I'm sorry. And when Derek started talking, it was just like, ugh. So I really got sidetracked. So please come back.
Make him think, Derek. Make him think.
No, I have my thoughts. I have my thoughts, Victor. I have my thoughts. I stepped away because I didn't feel like listening. But I have my thoughts. But come back to me and I'll have those thoughts together.
You said because you did not feel like listening.
No shade. I was just being honest. My apologies if my honesty offended someone.
You good. Miss Polly, talk to us.
Yeah. Okay. The clip. I definitely believe. Well, it depends on what kind of relationship you're looking for. I think that's the issue. Like, I don't think everyone wants the traditional relationship, from the 60s. So not everybody wants to go half and half. Some people don't want to, they want to go 100%. For me, like I said, it just depends on what you bring to the table. That is going to work better in the kind of relationship that I'm building. So then that's all that kind of matters. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. But if women who want someone to do all of that, then I would say it would have to be in the traditional aspect that you're going to have to pull that other part of the weight, because now the expectation is set, and there's conditions that have been made. And a lot of times, I think the relationships that we're in now are conditional love. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just conditional, and there's conditions, and those conditions change. And with the condition changes, then it no longer is where it's supposed to be. But I'm more of an unconditional. Like, I don't want it to be conditions that I love you. At the end of the day, I want to be able to love you, good or bad. I want to enjoy your bad, good times. I just want to enjoy you entirely. So, if you're going to be in a conditional relationship, then just know there's conditions, and those conditions can change, and then you are no longer valued, and then you should probably expect for something to change, and maybe someone to leave you or not stay with you. So most relationships now are conditional. So if you're looking for that conditional relationship where they do something, and if they don't meet those requirements, then you no longer deem them good, then you should know the requirement is that, at the end of the day, you're going to probably break up, or they're not going to be good enough for you any longer. So yeah, it depends on what kind of relationship you're looking for. So I hear what he's saying.
I'm ready, but I'll wait.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it all the way around, and then I'm gonna let Vic go, and then you and Mama Goddess finish this one off. You ready, Robert?
Yeah. Just for the record, Miss Polly, you smooth, okay? I see you again.
What?
I see how you convinced them two brothers. I ain't gonna say trick. I'm gonna see how you.
Really?
I see how you did. I see how you did that. I see how you did that there.
What did I do? Oh my God!
He did double vetting. Double vetting.
She got game, boy. Hey, look. At the end of the day, just give me a hard time. At the end of the day, what that man did not say is, yeah, you need to get all the bills paid before you talk about submission. That ain't what he said. He said, hey, can you submit to those bills? He wanted to knock the whole theory down. He said exactly what Chef said. He's going to produce a generation of men that say, hey, 50-50 mandatory. But bills is just what we do to survive and to live. Now, if we're going to split everything else 50-50, the yard work, the washing of the cars, the protection of the house, if we're going to split all, hey, cooking too, okay, cleaning, whatever, then we're going to split it all. But if that's not what we're talking about, because traditional or untraditional, modern or whatever term you want to put on it, most women, no matter which category they fall in, would prefer that all their bills be paid. They would prefer their life to be made easier. So if that's the case, then you still fall into the traditional requirements. And that's what men are going to be looking for. And dudes like this is just setting y'all up to be by yourself. That's it.
Really?
Shit sound good. Prosperity preaching.
Really?
Wait, before we continue, I got to make sure I show love. I do apologize. Sometimes I get sidetracked. Peace to Harrison Family Vlogs, Harrison Family Values.
Good evening.
Big Dre, one of Brooklyn's finest. You know what
Peace,
I mean?
Brother.
Freaking dude. He's that guy. He got like the most honest freaking eyes on YouTube, man. Like, honestly.
I appreciate that, bro.
That's
I
enough,
appreciate
Chef.
that.
Thanks.
Like,
all right. You giving him a little too much, but okay.
Look, that's why he get on Andre and then when he gives that look like, and then shows us his fingers. He's like, what's going on, family?
I'm doing good. I wanted to see if I could respond to that video, if that's okay.
Okay, so let me just ask the ladies: would you like to concede your time right now to Dre, and then you go, or you want to go first?
Time. Okay, I'll concede my time. It's okay.
You know, you're still gonna go. We're gonna let him.
No, I don't want to concede my time to Dre.
Okay.
I knew she wouldn't either.
So go ahead, brother. You good?
Oh, so I can go. All right, cool. So
no. I'm not conceding.
Okay, so you ready?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Dre, you can go ahead and mute your mic. So,
what happened to submission? Can't even get no submission on the YouTube. Hot damn.
Well, he's not my husband, so I have to submit to him. So, I feel like the whole idea of submission is outdated. The way that men think that women should submit and the way that women think that men should submit is outdated. This is 2022. We are far from how things used to be and how things were. We need to come to the 20th century or 21st century. We need to be in this year, 2022, where traditional households are not the same. They're just not the same. They may have worked in a sense in the past, but that's not what it is now. It's time to evolve. And it's time to be in the current. And in the current is, like I said before, and I'm going to stand on this, that you have to do what works best for your relationship, because no two relationships are the same. There is no standard now. It's just what works for you. If it's a thing where, you know, like Vic said, you know, everybody cut the grass, everybody clean the kitchen, everybody does, then do that. Just do that if that works for your specific relationship. At the end of the day, if I got to go out here and cut the grass, if I have to go out here and change the tire, if I have to go out here and change my oil, and then he's going to be in the house cleaning and doing all the like role reversal, then we'll do that because that's what works for our relationship at the end of the day. But if that's not the case, then that's just not the case. What I do in my relationship, or what we do in our relationship, has nothing to do with the next relationship. I'm minding my business while you're minding yours. What I do in my relationship has nothing to do with the next person in their relationship. And I'm done. Dre, if you want to take this last 10 seconds, you can have those.
Oh, no, hold on. No, I want to take it. So, do you submit to your husband?
Absolutely. Every single day. And because he's earned that. And I submit to him because he let me know, like the one clip that we seen earlier says, you know, if you can tell me what to do, then tell me what to do. And my husband tells me what to do. And I simply say, yes, sir.
Got it. So because you referenced that video, the one with the little matrix in the back. So pretty much it's not a vetting. It's just who you will simply allow to tell you what to do. So basically, if there's 5 different men that want to try and tell you what to do, it may not be all of them to get you to do what they say, but it's a certain one that's going to be able to tell you what to do.
It's going to be that certain one, but they've earned that, and that came through vetting. So, and once they, I guess, pass, so to speak, me submitting, quote unquote, to them, then yes, it's absolutely no problem. No talk back from me. I give a lot of talk back here on YouTube because I owe nothing to none of these men, especially about other sexist men, any, you know, type of allegiance in that way. So, so they get a lot of pushback from me. But for my intimate relationships, they get the yes, sir, no, sir. What else can I do for you? How can I help you? How can I serve you?
It's interesting you said, I'm going to pass it. It's interesting you said sexist men. The men that you may be referring to, and I saw Candidly V had put something in about some men don't want to be men anymore, right? But then we use the term sexist men, right? You can't be a sexist man if you're not exuding and representing your masculinity and not exuding a specific type of energy with relationships to the opposite sex. So how can you be a sexist beta male? You get what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'm just being a little too literal with it.
No, my apologies. I think you misheard me. I said battle of the sexist men. I was probably talking too fast.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mistake. So scratch over that. We're going to keep going. Thank you. All right. So, Brother Dre. AKA,
yes, sir.
Be Dr. Dre.
Yes, sir.
I like him.
So I just wanted to respond to the video of the guy, and I think he actually in that video exposes a couple of things. I think Miss Polly was like her point was extremely wise, and even Mama Goddess, like everybody has, like what she said, everybody has this specific type of relationship. Relationships aren't cookie cutter, although there is a standard that some people, society, do have, and some, for the most part, it works for a lot of people. It may not work for everybody. So when it comes to the traditional thing, right? If a man does want a traditional woman, he's got to be in a position to be that traditional man. That's just consistent. That's just logic. You can't expect a woman to be submissive traditionally when you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man traditionally. So so when he was saying, are you in a position to pay the bills? Are you in a position to provide? All that stuff is sound. All that stuff is consistent if that's what you want, right? But then on the flip side to that, when it comes to the women also, if they want a traditional male to fulfill that specific role in their marriage, then you can't expect the husband to be traditional when you refuse to be a traditional wife. That's inconsistent. So if that's what you want, you have to be that. So now if you don't want to be a traditional wife or a traditional husband, and you want to go that 50-50 route, that may be okay too. That may be okay too. But you got to know what you want. I think what he said was actually pretty sound, because you got to know what you want. I think Ms. Polly touched on that earlier. If you know what you want, then you go for that. If you want to build with somebody 50-50, have that partnership, by all means, have at it. But if you claim to want a traditional spouse while not trying to be a traditional spouse, you're wrong. You're inconsistent, and the relationship is going to fail every single time. And that's my piece.
Thank you. So, folks, normally there's a rabbit hole that, I come to. And I run
wait a minute. You talk about me?
Oh, shit. All right, y'all, we got another hour. Go ahead. You wanted to be last. That's right. You were right.
When I say partnership, I'm okay doing 50-50 because I want that partnership. Okay. So when I say I want a partnership, that's what I mean. I know what I mean and know what I want. Okay.
You gonna watch the car?
What you say?
You gonna watch the car?
I'm calling AAA. That's what they for. Damn it! I ain't doing no damn. I'm gonna put no tire on the damn car. Shit, that's what a man's supposed to do anyway. I'm just saying. But I'll call AAA. Okay, just be.
That's it.
I'm done.
Oh my God.
We gotta give Dre when he hits you. Extreme shade detected. So here's where I am on this particular topic. It involves,
hey, before you close it all the way out, just let me say one more thing.
Yeah.
We started with the whole thing about is submission conditional to finances, and we went through Raw's position about her vision on hypergamy. Now we're at this clip where he says submission is conditional, where you shouldn't even be asking for it unless you can have that. And my only question would be, if finances control the ability to request or be granted submission, then that means the person in control of the finances is in control of the relationship.
Yep.
And in this case, it may not be that man or that woman. It may just be the person in power and control of the resources. And that person has the power to disrupt the family structure as a whole, black or not, and throw off the dynamics intentionally or unintentionally. So I think it's something that women should consider in general about how they feel about that in general. Just think about it on a deeper level. If the black family is important.
Well, really quick, let me just add on just to what you're saying, Mr. Freeze. I think with men got to get out their ego. I think that there's too many women out here that are doing too many big things themselves to where they can talk all that quote hot stuff about I don't need no man. A man needs to just rein his ego in and don't feel like you not a man because you don't make as much as her. Because it's just understood we are in a patriarchal society, whether people like to hear that or not. The fact is, this is the male dominated society and things of that nature. So everything filters off of that. The man's supposed to lead everything. So it also follows he's supposed, he's supposed to make all the money and all that other stuff. Well, it just don't go down like that today. But just the same, because women are in a quote power position now, men should rein their egos in. Myself, I done dealt with plenty of women that made more than I, and man, for me, more than merit didn't make me feel any less than a man. I'm still Derek, and I carry myself as a man, regardless.
you know, if y'all don't mind if I have a second, but you know, I usually try to not say too much when it comes to certain things where the opinion is that men, you know, men are in this negative place because I like uplifting gentlemen. So I will say, you know, a lot of women who are on that tip saying we don't need men or we don't need them, but they're always looking for one. And I don't mean that you don't need them because, like I said, you can do everything by yourself. You're a person, you're a capable person, but the fact that you want someone, and I think we put emphasis on wanting a partner, then you should want them for things, not need them. The dependency sometimes can get in the way. I don't want to need you. I want to want you. And a lot of people don't like to hear that.
But
I
it's
you
two
know?
different things. And needing and wanting a man is two different things.
Yes.
Do I want a man? Yes. Do I need one? Not necessarily.
Right. And I said, I think men get that confused.
It's two different things.
Not necessarily. But you need him to have a certain amount of money.
I mean, now, I'm not saying every woman says this. I'm saying that's what
him.
Put out it.
You want a man? Yeah, you need a man. No, but then if you don't need him and he's just something to play with, then why does his income come into play?
Right. The requirements are that you need them to do something, but then you say you don't need them, you want them.
Protection, provision.
How do you do both?
Right. So someone to have kids with. So you're stating that you want them, you don't need them. So did you grow a pair of testicles sometime in the past? Because you couldn't get yourself pregnant.
Okay, I got it. I understand.
Hey, get rid of all them toys. I want everybody to scissor
Oh, Lord.
from here on out, okay?
Oh, Vic gonna do that thing about if all the lights went out for a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if a woman says she wants a man, she doesn't need him, then the requirements then they have to fall down, because then you can't go into a relationship saying I need you to make this, I need you to be this, I need you. Well, you just said you didn't need him to do that stuff. You just want someone there for companionship and to be on this journey with you. But then you ask them to be part of this need part. You can't have both, I think, or you're gonna have some issues.
Okay, so
okay,
I feel where she was coming from. So let me say this. Danique, he put something up that made a lot of sense, and it actually kind of leans to my overarching point. Asking for submission is like asking for an orgasm. It's the byproduct of one's policies and procedures. So, what does that mean? The actions the man takes, the things that he stands for, his hangups, the things that he doesn't go for, the thing that makes him, I'm not even going to say God-fearing, the thing that makes him a strong, steadfast man, being on the square, and how it aligns with you is the thing that will make a woman submit. I believe that the overarching conversation when men discuss, or in these sectors discuss, submission or submissive women, it's more so stating that the newer modern generation of women are not submissive. Not that every woman has to submit to every man. The conversation that's brought up in the sectors is that the newer generation of women are not submissive. So not that they want submission from every single woman or every single woman should submit to every single man. No, what they're stating is that with the way the new generation is taking place, the whole City Girls generation, all of these things, the Megan era, the Cardi B era, what's happening is it's making the newer generations of young women less and not submissive. So that when they do find that guy who's the one, when they find their Harrison, when they find their Derek, When they find their victor, what happens is they may not understand how to acquiesce to those great intelligent men's leadership. So in this whole conversation, I just didn't say that piece. Yeah, submission is something that comes out from a person. This guy could speak to that girl, and she'll look at him in a certain way and respond one way. Another guy speaks to that girl, and he represents something else. She's going to behave much differently. She's going to behave much differently. So what I believe is it's the trust. In order for a woman to submit to you as a wife, she first has to trust that you will be the husband that she wants to remain with for the rest of her life. It's trust. For me, it's always been about trust. There's women that have certain types of hangups or trust issues. So there's going to be certain type of men that they would never submit to because that man may remind them of another man that did them wrong or did not live up to their promise or the potential, right? So what it is, you're going to get submission, and this is to the fellas. You have to vet as well. You run it right, you sing that song right, you represent yourself in the right way, she will submit to you. She will submit to you. But if she refuses to submit to you for some dollars, that you're still that good dude, just not with the same amount of dollars, but you got good potential and she chooses not to submit to you, then yeah, I see it as a problem, and I call that performative submission. But trust is the key, and I'll show you why.
I don't have any problem with listening to my man and being submissive. He allows space for me to express myself, and he's a great listener. Mm-hmm. And so because I know that he's listening and he is considering me, I allow him to lead in a lot of situations because I already know he knows me well enough to consider me. Mm-hmm. And so when a person listens to you, that gives you some safety when it's time for them to make decisions concerning you. Mm-hmm. And so
he's making decisions based off of what he knows about you.
That's all I'm saying.
I have a question actually. Why are women no longer submissive in relationships?
I'm not sure if 1 minute is going to be enough for me to say what I want to say. Maybe it's high time we start realizing that for the longest time, submission meant self-betrayal and abandonment for women, because they had to let go of their dreams, goals, aspirations for the sake of a marriage or relationship that in the end did not serve them. And so maybe now women have realized that submission is not an entry point, but rather submission is a reaction and a response to an action whose motives and intent has been trusted. And so if as a man you fail to prove that you can be trusted with leadership by making sure that you are able to secure your partner's safety and security in the relationship, and that you are willing to embrace them with their goals, aspirations, and dreams, and that you will not be intimidated by their ability to function in areas where you probably cannot fully function as a man, then they cannot submit.
Yeah, that was the rest of it. I had muted the rest. So,
well,
excuse me.
Debate. It's been a healthy debate. Did you see what I did, Derek? I didn't cut nobody off. I calm, cool, collective. I'm okay.
You just cut yourself off just now.
Fine. But you cut it. Yeah, good point. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I got you back.
Oh, she jumped. Okay.
I did that.
Get you. Okay.
But yo, submission, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
In order to get submission, it's
trust.
For one, ladies, if you're not submissive, don't sell the dream that you can become submissive when you want to or turn it on or off. If you're not a submissive person, you're not a submissive person. And I think that, the best you should do is be with men that don't require that from you. Fellas, If you want a submissive woman, you can get a submissive woman. But just the fact that she's submissive does not mean that she's going to be submissive to you. It's her submissiveness is the cheat code that you unlock by virtue of, like Danique said, your personal policies and procedures. It's not something where you can say, hey, ma'am, may I get a plate of submissiveness, please? No, you take it. By virtue of your policies and procedures. And she's gonna force it on you. One of the simple acts in women's nature, which is a beautiful thing, part of the nesting, but part of a display of submission. Where you had a girl, she came to your college campus, or she came to your apartment, and she might have spent the night or whatever. And then you wake up and she's cleaning your place. She's, you know what I mean? She's cleaning your place. It's a display. It's a real display, and it's you brought that out. Maybe because, who knows? Maybe because you had a leg shaking when you finished, right? Who knows? But sometimes it doesn't take that, and they'll just start doing that thing. Submissiveness is something. It's something that they have within them. Everyone doesn't by virtue of nature or nurture. Things happen, trauma in life, or they just weren't raised like that, you know? But the thing is, it's possible. But fellas, you can't order it on the menu. You have to be that guy where you're invited. Like the black card, you know, Amex black card, Centurion, you have to be invited by virtue of who you are and how you are and carry yourself, you know? And I got 49 seconds for my Christian brethren and sister, and we're going to hear it from a sister.
If you took on Christ's definition of submission, you wouldn't be so offended. You know why? Because when Christ says in his word that wives are to submit to their own husbands, he is not saying that a woman should be subservient. He is not saying that a woman should be a doormat. He is not saying that a woman cannot help her husband make major decisions in the household. But at the same time, God is a God of order, and you cannot have two captains of the same ship. But submission is about trust. You will submit to somebody that you trust. If you refuse to submit to your husband, I have to ask you, what areas then are you lacking trust? That's why some of us don't submit to God, because we don't really trust him. If you
I think that's true.
No lies detected.
I would think that is so true. Maybe she just don't trust him. It's a trust factor.
Right. So that goes back to, go ahead.
There you got something to say there, don't you?
Actually, I do, Miss Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I do. Okay. Before I was cut off, Chef, what I was going to say was I wanted to respond to something Candidly V said, is that and I'm paraphrasing, but she said, why aren't men desiring to be men anymore? Something like that. Well, a lot of dudes weren't raised by men, so they have no blueprint. It's hard enough being a man in a feminized type world anyways, the corporate world, I know definitely in the medical field. And from what I see, just based off what my daughter says, just the way these boys have essentially been feminized, it makes sense that a lot of men, while they are physically men, they don't have the heart of a man. They don't have the intelligence to being articulate as a man should for his physicality. So you have all that to deal with. So I think a lot of times when you talking about this whole thing about submission and stuff like that, again, it's a real touchy subject. Nobody really wants to, from what I see anyway. Anytime you bring it up, especially with a lot of women, they eventually will they'll get angry and stuff like that, because from what they see around them are men that aren't acting like leaders. Men, just as the lady said in that clip, there is, and I'm an agnostic, but there is an order to things. And I personally think that women will submit or yield or defer to any man that they see that's actually carrying himself as such. This is why I always say, Chef, on every platform I go, a man is as he does. And you don't have to beat your chest to do that. Folks know if you carry yourself as such. That's all.
Thank you.
So he done dropped the mic now. Is that what it is now? He done dropped the mic
No,
now.
that's not a no. Well, you know what? I am going to drop down. I'll do that, Miss Lynch. So I'm gonna step aside. Chef, thank you for having me on your platform. Miss Polly Moore and Chef, I'm sorry, and Victor Freeze. Y'all take care of yourself here.
Bye, Derek.
Bye, Miss Lynch. I'll see you around YouTube. All right.
My God.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, every time he come on the screen, the views went up. We just jumped up again. My God. Yo, it was definitely a good conversation. Yes, it was definitely a good debate. You know, there was some nuance to what we were talking about. Of course, some of the natural tropes came in, but I think there was a high degree of nuance to what we were speaking about and the way that we were speaking on it. And what's funny is peace, cuz. Happy birthday, cousin Evan Gabriel. So in terms of the way that we handled it, I think it was respectful. But we actually agree more in some of the most important components of the conversation. Sure. Andrea, I just think you actually agree with more of the components than you wanted to admit to. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, if y'all saw the show yesterday, she has that feminine defense chip. It goes like this. Feminine defense chip engaged. What you say? Oh, hell no, that's some bullshit.
Well, I had to get you. I had to play a different part. I had to get you to have the conversation. And if I agree, if I disagreed, I know you would have the conversation. See, I had to play a little mind game with you.
Robin 101 said, "My hubby knows his place and I know mine." Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
So I think it's a great conversation. You know, people were saying we having a real conversation, no arguing, fight, no disrespectful. I think it was perfectly great. You know, like we kept that same energy. You brought your friends, I brought my friends.
Well, you brought a whole bunch. You brought a whole gang of friends.
I brought a whole bunch of friends.
Gang.
We got jumped. Gang. Andrea, let these folks know what makes you a wonderful, unique soul in this universe.
What makes me a wonderful, unique soul is I love people. I love my people I can get with on YouTube. And shout out to all my old Battle of the Six friends came through tonight. Harrison Valley family, Shanita, Mama Goddess, Canley B, Robin, Derek C. Williams. How can I forget about him too? I appreciate everybody of my old teammates came through for Andrea Lynch. And I appreciate it. I love you guys. And what they say is when you meet good people on YouTube, no matter what plane we go, what field we go, they will still come through for you. And so I thank you. And what makes me a unique soul is I'm just trying to do my part in the world. Just being Andrea Lynch, giving my opinion. I might always not agree, but we can find a middle ground. And that's who I am.
Appreciate you. Thank you for another one.
Bye-bye. Oh, and please share and subscribe to Just Andrea. I just got a shout out today from Miss Tina Talk, okay? She made a video for your girl, Andrea Lynch.
Yeah, Miss Tina Talk.
Thank you so much. But your girl is doing something in the YouTube game. So I appreciate it. Go share and subscribe. I'm 305 subscribers, but I'm trying to get my community wall by October. So please share and subscribe and come and say what Andrea Lynch got to say. And I was told tonight that if I put our TikToks on my YouTube channel, people are going to come through over here on Chef Shapiro channel. That's the word I got tonight. So that's what they tell me.
Don't go anywhere yet. Hold on one second. Don't go anywhere yet. I wanna show something. Okay. Because we got to celebrate our folks when things happen positively, and that was a proud moment for you. So we finna celebrate you right now. Give you your flowers. Let them see what it is that you're talking about.
Let me take this off the selfie stick. I'm about to get this bedroom together here. Because right now,
Over 4,000 subs she got. She's a power player.
Right there. I would, y'all, please check out Miss Just Andrea. I'll have it in here when I edit this video. I'll put her channel in the thing. That's one of the voices of YouTube. Everybody knew that voice and that passion that come from behind that voice, the words that she was putting out. That lady, she need to be on TED Talks. I'm serious.
TED Talks.
I love Miss Andrea. She so her man, when she's passionate about something, she speaks with so much intelligence and conviction. All right.
All right. Then flash the granny drawers for you. Had to hit y'all. Everybody knows,
just so you know, okay.
No, them drawers, like, they was made of split side material.
Got a whopper.
Yeah, that was nice.
Thank you
Got
so
that
much.
Beyond Meat.
I am honored. I praise. I'm in awe because I didn't think little old Andrea from Sacramento, California. I didn't think I somebody just wanted me, care about me and think I'm important to talk about. So I was like, oh my God, when I see it this morning, I was surprised.
Yeah,
and so I was so happy, but I was impressed, and I'm thanking her for that. And I thank her for, telling people go search my channel. It makes me feel wonderful. I am doing something on YouTube, and I would say all the things that I've been on YouTube is the most rewarding thing. And I never forget everybody I come along the path and everything and met me, and I don't forget. So they have made who Andrea Lynch is. So I appreciate all of them.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful thing, man. I'm proud of you. You did the thing. And it was like seeing it, I thought it was just a mention. Yeah. It was edited into an uploaded stream. So that was, that was a purposeful move. It was intentional. And it was enthusiastic. So you earned it. That's why I said you talk about Vic and I or whatever, man. But you're a star. You're a star. We ain't making you a star. We might just be, the captains of the ship that's just taking you to drop you off to the paradise. But you're a star, man. Right. Just don't doubt yourself and use your emotion, because that's one of your superpowers. But I'm gonna speak for Derek Williams. Don't always allow that muscle called the heart to overpower your logical senses. Give yourself more credit. Give yourself more credit. But you're a motherfucking star, yo. Real talk. So I appreciate you. You have any final words?
No, this has been. We don't really do debates about men and women conversations, but this was my first, and I actually, I think I miss it. Okay, I used to not like. I used to be burnt out having these conversations, but I think I missed it, and I think we might do another show. We don't know, but this was fun. This was fun tonight.
Cool.
And I learned some things too. How to bet better, how to listen a little better, and I ain't so much loud like Darius C. Williams always say about me. Shout out to Darius C.
So you good?
I'm good.
So I'm gonna let Miss Polly, let the world know what makes her a wonderful, unique soul within this universe.
Start with the hair.
Yeah, I am Miss Polly. Miss Polly. I like to talk mostly about relationships, alternative relationships. My place really is to help people really just be better at relationships in general. Doesn't matter what kind of relationships, family relationships, mother, daughter, all kind of relationships are just so important. I think that we were just built to be with other people, and the best way to be productive in my mind is that to make better relationships, and that will kind of bring us back together as a people in general. So I really, really, like discussing those things, and talking about how my relationship's unique and how that has worked for me. Um, and I like sharing my joy that I have with other people. And like I said, I've been working on my YouTube channel and things like that, and it's been a little bit slower process because I'm used to going live. So that's where I flourish, is having that interaction with people. And YouTube's a little different for me because when I'm all by myself and there's no one to really interact with, unless it's a podcast, I get a little nervous. But I still like the interaction. So I thank you guys for allowing me on here to chit chat and give my opinion to people who see me. And I like sharing it with eBlack and things like that. So I'm also gonna do like some little thank you for you guys here too soon. So because it's nice to learn from you guys because you guys have the experience. So it's a good place. And Freeze, I like a little a little combativeness. So that's also makes me a better person. Got to fight against someone who's on the opposite side. So yeah,
We
I
on the
really
same
enjoy
side.
hanging out with you
I
guys.
appreciate
It's nice.
Yeah, y'all go and make sure you join Miss Polly Wright's channel. Right now, she's at 154 subs. So I really would appreciate it if you guys go and subscribe. She has some great content. Very interesting lady. All right. Very interesting.
All right.
Yo,
Peace, sis.
Polly, I appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
And you're always welcome. Like I said, the key is under the rock next to the left bush. So come through. All right.
All right, dudes. You guys have a good evening.
You too. Peace. Woo. This was a real one, yo. This was a real one. Andrea went nuclear on her. She brought the big guns out today, right?
Okay, she said, "Hey, that's about enough of that."
Right.
She just brought the heat.
You know what I mean? I said we was playing dominoes, but she came and brought big ass bricks, bricks with dots on them. Damn. But let these folks know what makes you a wonderful, unique soul within this universe, big dog.
Now, when I say this, I ain't speaking to you, Chef. I'm speaking to the audience. I'm not you. I don't think like you, and I don't want the same things you want. I am the definition of a unique soul. And you will be hard-pressed not to find my mark when the Creator says that my time is done here. So that's what makes me unique. The people around me who cultivate me into better version of myself, even though I make the final judgment call on who that is their input, it's their fuel, it's their resources, it's their inspiration that gives me the material to build the man you see before you. So if you don't like what you see, blame Chef and everybody like him.
All right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody for coming out, hearing me out, hearing the panel out. I know this conversation can get redundant, but at the end of the day, this is the team, and we always do it a special way. And we look at the angles that you didn't look at before. To my closing thoughts on the topic, you must create a unique experience. Physically, emotionally, environment. If you can create that and have your woman adore you, admire you, you don't gotta ask for no submission. But if you can't create that, if she can compare you to something else, you'll never get it. And that's all I got on that, my brother.
Peace. That was the mic drop. He's on fire tonight. The league is going to go check his urine and make sure he's not on those performance enhancers. If he's on fire tonight, here we are at that point. How foolish was I thinking that we were going to be able to run this 2 hours and 30 minutes when I dropped the stream link early. It's all right. We didn't waste any time. We had great conversation. We brought through some critically lucid points. And there were certain points where some of us had to acquiesce. But for the most part, I think that a good majority of us had some of the identical components that we agreed with. A lot of times that's a start. Where you have two opposing sides, you focus on the disagreements, it's just going to be a bunch of disagreements. But if you're able to find and exploit the common ground, the things that you do agree on, that's the point where you and those other people are family. And you'll be able to build on top of that and understand. What makes me a wonderful, unique soul in this universe? I listen. I talk a lot, but I listen. I'm selfless. I call this the garden. And I do things to try and help cultivate people. A lot of times it's not about somebody being great or somebody being not great or somebody being successful or unsuccessful. A lot of times it's having that right person to understand and properly help you exploit your skill set. The same thing like submission. The same thing like submission. Everybody doesn't get it. And it's not something you ask for. It's something that you're given by virtue of your personal policies and procedures. So, with all that being said, thank you for another great night of The Team Presents. Peace to Andrea Lynch and Victor Freeze Music. This is what we do. Check out Just Andrea's page. Support her. Subscribe to her. She does recap shows as well after the shows that we do here. So more than likely she'll be dropping a recap show tomorrow. And they're pretty good. She does some pretty good stuff. Victor Freeze. Vic has been inundating his page with lots of content. He and I did a late night conversation that he has up on his page. Check it out. It's some dope stuff. Also, Andrea and I, one of the late night conversations, it's currently in the post-editing phase, so you'll be seeing that shortly. That's all I got, man. All I ask you, just come around, share with a friend, and some other friends, Facebook, Twitter, this, that, and the other. I'm on all the platforms. Check out the shoes. Hold me accountable, man. If you don't like what I say, I could take that feedback and we could discuss it. It doesn't have to be personal. I'm here about the vibes. So I need somebody in that chat. You know how it goes here. How do I send you guys out of this place? I send you out a special way. Call it tradition that I refuse to shut down until I see my folks tell me the way that I send you out to the streets. It's not a big thing to ask. Thank you, Just Andrea and Aaron Laura. We send you out of this piece vibing. It's been a pleasure. A real pleasure. Peace, love, and light. Chef out.
Club phone jump, it's the weekend. Dream come true with the big friends. Hitting on doors, that's a defense. Rolling with all, that's that offense. It me change, you let me peach. With a bull shaking to my maybe drop bands. So they won't buy, and I say, so they won't buy, you to keep playing. Baby, tell me what you want. Julian, I know you need fun. Ever since remember we been knocking at the door. Y'all been moving paper, we be running up the school. Y'all before that pillar, we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't hard. I don't care what say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care.
Vibing, baby. Come roll with me. As times relax, my mind's relaxed. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, sure enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I put it up. Whoever let you go must be dumb as fuck. Wait for, girl, you so fine, I pay for. Fly you first class to LA for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Because I don't care what you say.
I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long.
My nigga, I killed it. Night long. This the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focus, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it.
I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say.
That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga.
Vibing all night long.
Profit.